Chapter 1046. In the next few days, Little Chi helped with the moving. Of course, during school, the two of them pretended not to know each other, and had nothing to do with each other. Yenji's drawer was still full of love letters as always. However, every day, these love letters would be thrown into the trash can at the back of the classroom. Soon, the school was going to hold the spring sports meet. Yenji, who was famous for fighting, was, of course, signed up for several sports events by the teacher. The intention was to let him spend his extra energy on things that were worth it. Yenji did not object. After all, the only things worth looking forward to in school were physical education and sports. Little Chi also participated in two events. One was the 400-meter race, and the other was the 1,500-meter run. 1,500. Hearing the teacher confirm the project, Little Chi frowned. She promised the sports committee that she would participate in two events, but she didn't say that she would participate in the 1,500-meter race. The girls in our class are all quite weak. It all depends on Sheng Qingwan's performance this time. What delicate. Scheming against people behind their backs was one trick after another. Little Chi rolled her eyes. It wasn't that she didn't want to participate, but her good friend was in the next few days. If you don't want to run, just give up. Yenji saw her doubts and whispered in her ear. Since I've agreed, there's no reason for me to go back on my word. Little Chi answered Yenji calmly. The few behind me are waiting to see me make a fool of myself every day. It's good to let them see my true strength. What a little girl who doesn't admit defeat. Watch my competition tomorrow morning? Yenji quietly wrote a note to Little Chi. Who wants to look at you? Little Chi snorted. Even so, she still wanted to see what advantage Yenji had on the sports field with his fighting skills. Since you're coming, prepare a towel and mineral water for me. Little Chi was speechless. Wouldn't that be equivalent to publicizing their ambiguous relationship? Don't tell me you want to see me drink water prepared by someone else? Of course not. Little Chi glared at him with a warning gesture. Although the two of them had not confirmed their relationship, they had already restrained each other, according to the standards of a boyfriend and girlfriend. Of course, she had to be responsible for Yenji's things. Got it. When you compete, I will also go and cheer for you. After saying that, Yenji picked up his school bag. I'm going to pick up Grandma. I'll let you meet after the sports meet. It's rare for you to be so serious. However, just as Little Chi finished speaking, she saw Yenji smile. After all, an ugly daughter-in-law will have to meet her in-laws sooner or later. Little Chi. F***CKU. You're the ugly one. Your entire neighborhood is ugly. Even so, Little Chi still felt the sweetness in her heart. This was the part of love that people yearned for, and were infatuated with. After Yenji left, many girls in the class began to understand Yenji's competition, especially in Ruoli. Since she had come for Yenji, how could she give up so easily? Therefore, tomorrow, she would definitely go to the stadium to cheer for Yenji and prepare sports drinks and towels for him. When Little Chi saw this, she shook her head. What was the point of this? Yenji already had someone. Even if he was evil, he was the only one who could make her heart beat faster. Therefore, no matter who came to compete, she would not let them. Chapter 1047. The next day, Jianchuan High School's spring sports meet opened on the sports field. The events to be held in the morning were the men's and women's 100-meter, 200-meter, and 400-meter relay. Because of Yenji's participation, this year's sports field was especially lively. Little Chi was wearing a white sportswear and holding a mineral water bottle as she walked in the audience area, searching for Yenji. Actually, there was no need to be deliberate. After all, wherever the screams were the loudest, Yenji would be there. Yenji was wearing a black and white sportswear. Standing in the crowd, he was so dazzling and eye-catching. Little Chi wanted to go up and observe, but there was no place for her around Yenji. Therefore, she sat on a stool at the side, lost in thought. Soon, a warm body walked to her side and took the towel and mineral water from her neck. Why are you in a daze? Little Chi came back to her senses and saw Yenji sweating profusely. Behind him was a group of girls. Junior, drink my. Junior, use my towel. Yenji impatiently pushed away the enthusiastic contributions. Then, he put his arm around little Chi's shoulder and said, "My deskmate is here. You guys can rest." Everyone looked at little Chi with resentment. What a goddamn luck. I saw Yenji use Sheng Qingwan's towel and drink her water. I can't help it. They're deskmates. Yenji winked at little Chi. The little girl was really not proactive at all. Let's go. It's time for lunch. Are you done? Little Chi stood up and asked. What else do you think? Yenji walked in front of little Chi, sweating profusely. Little Chi walked behind him with a towel in her hand. This was the first time the two of them were outside the classroom, one in front, and the other behind. Yenji's excuse was that they were deskmates. He only drank from deskmates. And he only played with deskmates because he had a serious obsession with cleanliness. This was also the first time little Chi was eating in the school cafeteria. She looked a little restless because opposite her was Yenji's enlarged handsome face. Your hubby is too handsome. Are you nervous? Yenji saw that she was not eating seriously and quickly teased her. Do I want to become public enemy number one? Don't worry. In their eyes, I don't treat you like a girl. Yenji placed the soup in front of little Chi. I have a match in the afternoon. If you get distracted again, I have plenty of ways to teach you a lesson. After little Chi heard this, she flicked his head. Who taught who? What a little tigress. Yenji put down the bowl and chopsticks. This is your first time eating with your husband, right? Aren't you secretly delighted? Can't you be quiet when you're eating? Little Chi picked up the soup and took a sip. Only then did she realize that after sharing a bottle of water, she and Yenji shared a bowl of soup. So she suddenly blushed, because she knew that this was called indirect kissing. You're blushing more and more often. Yenji took advantage of the fact that no one was around to tuck little Chi's hair. You're so obedient. I like it the most when you tie your hair like this. Little Chi. The number of times this person was flirting with her was also increasing. Furthermore, it did not matter where it was. Soon the two of them finished lunch. Originally, little Chi was worried that the people outside would spread rumors. But she never expected that those people would mistake little Chi for Yenji's brother, based on his actions. Chapter 1048. Of course, Yenji did this on purpose. In this way, he could openly order his concubine around. For example, Little brother Sheng, I'm thirsty. Little brother Sheng, I want a towel. Yenji acted as if he was squeezing little Chi dry, but in fact, he brought little Chi with him, giving her the best view of his competition. Although the girls were envious of little Chi, they treated it as Yenji enslaving her. Although she could be with Yenji at any time, she was not Yenji's girlfriend, so they did not pay too much attention to her. Seeing this, little Chi heaved a sigh of relief. It was not that she was afraid, but that even they had not given each other a definite answer, so there was no need to make it known to the world. For the whole day, little Chi was ordered around by Yenji whenever he participated in the competition. Every time a girl squeezed little Chi out of the crowd, Yenji would deliberately pull her and put her in the most eye-catching position. I only have this little brother. I can't lose him. Little Chi really wanted to bite him. Yenji regretted it a little. Why didn't he use this move earlier? This way, the two of them wouldn't have to avoid arousing suspicion. Although Yenji looked like he deserved a beating, seeing his smug smile, little Chi felt a sense of warmth from the bottom of her heart. And with someone at the level of a big brother, the first battle was of course beautiful and smooth. Because of this, Yenji's fans went from being of an age group to being from the entire school. This was because no young man would be so good-looking and have a noble air about him. Most importantly, he was almost omnipotent and a ruffian. Such a boy would have the confidence to be proud no matter where he went. After the day of competition, Yenji took a shower and came out of the school apartment. At this moment, little Chi was standing under a tree, surrounded by a group of girls. Junior, just tell me, how can I talk to Yenji? Junior, you must have some ultimate move to make Yenji ignore everyone but you. Little Chi had a headache. At this moment, Yenji appeared behind everyone. With the freshness of a bath, he pulled little Chi out of the crowd. There's no ultimate move. It's just that she's the closest to me. Let's go, little brother. It's time to go home. Under the setting sun, the silhouettes of the two were lengthened. Little Chi followed behind Hiyenji. In front of her was a boy who was the center of attention. What are you daydreaming about? Hiyenji quickly turned around when he saw that his wife wasn't following him. Are you so handsome that you don't dare to move? Who wants to be your lackey? Little Chi settled the score. She hadn't forgotten that she had been ordered around by this bastard all afternoon. Then, I'll be your lackey. Brother Sheng, shall we go? I'm hungry. Little Chi immediately laughed. You're treating me. Got it, my little wife, Hiyenji whispered into Little Chi's ear. Little Chi immediately looked around nervously. After realizing that she had been teased, she directly raised her fist and punched Hiyenji. Hiyenji had long known that there was no one else on this road, so he directly held Little Chi's hand. Are you really the young lady of the Sheng family? You're so calculative. I've discovered another weakness of my little wife. Little Chi buried her head the entire time. She didn't want to listen to his nagging at all, okay? This person was getting bolder and bolder. Not far away, Cheng Hui, who was following the two of them, looked at their hands holding each other's. He immediately felt numb and uncomfortable. Was Master Xiao really not going to discipline him? Chapter 1049. After school that day, the two of them returned to Hiyenji's house hand in hand. When Hiyenji's grandmother saw this, her eyes immediately lit up. Ayo, this little cutie is so beautiful. This is Grandma's granddaughter-in-law. Little Chi was stunned by this sudden enthusiasm, but Hiyenji said, Go and chat with my grandmother. Your grandmother is also so open-minded? Don't you know whose grandmother she is? Hiyenji smiled and turned to the kitchen to help Auntie Hong. Little girl, don't be afraid. Come. Grandma will show you the photos of Yenji when he was young. Then Little Chi was dragged into the study by Grandma He. There was a photo album between their knees. Grandma He explained as she flipped through the pages with Little Chi. Little Chi looked at the photo of Hiyenji and his parents, and immediately knew that Hiyenji had really received a strict aristocratic education when he was young. It turned out that he had British blood, and judging from his mother's identity, she should be either rich or noble. Therefore, no matter how ruffian he was, she could still see the nobility in him. This was given by the family environment. Yenji is very capable. He knows everything. It's a pity that my parents left too early. Otherwise, my Yenji would be able to live a good life now. As Grandma He spoke, her tears fell on the photo album. Little girl, you're the first girl Yenji brought home. Yenji must like you very much. You have to come and play with Grandma often. Grandma likes you too. After saying that, Grandma He took out a box from the drawer. Inside was a bracelet with a unique pattern. She directly gave it to Little Chi. This is Grandma's greeting gift. You must accept it. Grandma, this. Little Chi was instantly petrified. Was this a marriage? Grandma told you to keep it, so just keep it. Hiyenji suddenly appeared at the bedroom door, and had already changed into fresh home clothes. This person, no matter when I look at him, is really handsome to the point of dropping dregs. But, it's not expensive. This is Grandma's gift. Little Chi did not struggle anymore, because Grandma He had already put the bracelet on her hand, while the two of them were talking. It was a rose gold bracelet that looked a little old. The bracelet was engraved with classical patterns. It was very elegant. Grandma, time to eat. When Grandma He saw that Little Chi had accepted the bracelet, she immediately pulled Little Chi's hand and said, My little cutie, after dinner, Grandma will tell you about the jokes Yenji made when he was young. All right. In the time it took for a meal, Little Chi had forgotten about the bracelet, because Grandma He was also a very interesting person. From her exquisite clothes, it could be seen that when Grandma He was young, she must have been a very beautiful socialite. At 9 o'clock, Hiyenji brought Little Chi out of Grandma's room. It's time to go home. So close. What's the matter? Little Chi was very good at pleasing the old man. Then will you sleep with me tonight? Hiyenji whispered into Little Chi's ear. Eft. With Hiyenji's words, Little Chi reluctantly said goodbye to Grandma He. I really lost to you. I can see that my grandma really likes you. On the way back to the city, Yinji couldn't help but say to little Chi, "It's been many years since I've seen Grandma talk so much to someone other than me. Even Andy Hong can't do it. Is it really okay to give me the bracelet? Why do I feel like I'm selling myself?" Chapter 1050. You're already my wife. Isn't it too late to say this? Yinji sent little Chi out of the banyan courtyard and gently stroked her head. "Sleep early. There's a competition tomorrow. Don't order me around tomorrow," little Chi said angrily, and entered the Sheng family's house with her school bag on her back. Behind the door, Sheng Xiao sat on the sofa. It was as if he had X-ray eyes and could see what had just happened outside the door. "You're back. Dad, did that kid send you back?" Sheng Xiao asked his daughter as he put down the document. "Okay." Little Chi nodded. "You promised that you wouldn't object to us dating." Sheng Xiao did not say anything. He just looked at the bracelet on her wrist and casually said, "Go up and have a good rest. I'll wait for your mother to get off work." "Got it, Dad." Little Chi immediately carried her school bag and walked upstairs to the bedroom. However, if Master Xiao was not mistaken, the bracelet on little Chi's hand should have been worn by the Princess of England. After all, Huang Yao had been in business for so many years. It was impossible for Sheng Xiao not to recognize such a small thing. He didn't expect that such a precious thing would fall into his daughter's hands. He did not have any objections to Yinji now, because Master Zhao's every move was calculated in his heart. As long as that brat made his daughter sad and angry, his limbs were broken. Of course, as long as it didn't cross the line, he could turn a blind eye to it. When Mu Chichi returned home, little Chi was already asleep. After all, she had been running on the field for the whole day. Late at night, Mu Chichi habitually went to her daughter's room to check on her. She also found the bracelet. Therefore, after returning to her room, she asked Sheng Xiao, "Xiao Xiao, did you give her the thing she's wearing?" "Your daughter's puppy Love gave it to her," Sheng Xiao replied, sitting on the soft couch in his black pajamas. "This isn't an ordinary item, right? What's going on?" Mu Chichi leaned against her husband. "What kind of boy does our daughter like?" Sheng Xiao said nothing. He simply turned around and took out a document from the drawer, handing it to Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi was shocked. "This boy is so handsome." "Sheng Xiao, isn't your daughter just like you? How could she take a liking to him if he didn't even look this good?" "So, you're a descendant of the British royal family. No wonder you didn't object." "I'm not against it. It's not because of that. The He family is in a state of disunity. I'm not against it because your daughter likes it." Sheng Xiao took the information from Mu Chichi's hands. "She's only 12 soon. It's precisely because she's about to enter the rebellious age that she's full of curiosity about these things. Why don't you let her experience it generously, guide her correctly, and tell her what she can and can't do openly? According to your daughter's personality, it'll be easier for her to accept it, and there won't be any estrangement between us," Sheng Xiao explained patiently. "The daughter can be soothed, but what about the boy? I'm testing him, but for now, he's more interesting than Tang Xiaobao." Master Xiao finally gave Yinji an evaluation. After hearing that, Mu Chichi could not wait to meet her daughter's sweetheart. In fact, she did not object to her daughter dating, because she herself had a crush on someone. She was just afraid that her daughter would not meet someone who doted on her like Master Xiao. Since her husband said it was a test, she didn't need to worry too much. However, he still had to find an opportunity to meet this person. Chapter 1051. The next morning, the events at school included the finals of the men's track and field events, and the preliminary of the women's track and field events. Little Chi only had one 400-meter race in the morning. Before the competition began, Yinji found her in the crowd. Seeing that her hands were bare, he frowned and asked, "Where's the bracelet?" "Take it off. I'll wear it when I exercise. It's easy to damage it," little Chi said as she raised her wrist. "Got it. Now that the competition is over, I'll wear it back immediately," Yinji ordered domineeringly. "So what? No one knows whose family it belongs to." Little Chi snorted and didn't let him have his way. "You want me to kiss you in public to announce our relationship? What's our relationship?" Little Chi immediately asked Yinji confidently. This bastard, he had never confessed to her. Nor did he pursue her. At most, they were in an ambiguous relationship. Humph. They couldn't even be considered boyfriend and girlfriend. Yinji did not say anything, as if he was thinking about something. Just as he was about to answer, he heard someone call Little Chi's name from behind. Lil Wan. Little Chi looked past Yinji and saw Feng Shanshan and Mu Qiqi waving at her from the audience seats with Tang Xiaobao. My mom is here. Little Chi immediately muttered to Yinji. Yinji subconsciously turned around and met Mu Qiqi's gaze calmly. Because they were not far away, and only Yinji was by Little Chi's side. Mu Qiqi's gaze was scrutinizing. Ordinary children would be timid in such a situation. But Yinji was not. Magnanimous and magnanimous. My mom is probably here to see you. Little Chi gloated. Yinji turned around and looked at Little Chi seriously. Compete well. I'll tell you the answer to your question after the competition is over. Is it about the relationship between the two of them? Little Chi paused for a second and nodded. Don't be shameless. With that, Yinji retreated to the side and quickly disappeared into the crowd of students. At that moment, Tang Xiaobao walked up and asked Little Chi, "Who was that boy just now?" "Oh my Xiaobao, why are you free today?" Little Chi quickly played dumb. "Your mom dragged my mom over to cheer for you. Look at your body. Do you think you can get first place today?" Tang Xiaobao and Mi Chi were childhood sweethearts. Their families had always been close, so they had even taken a bath together. Of course, that was when they were young. However, this kind of natural intimacy was something that Yinji could not compare to. Therefore, he stood in the crowd and watched Little Chi and Tang Xiaobao exchange pleasantries. He was silently jealous. In addition, Tang Xiaobao's appearance and outstanding temperament attracted the attention of the girls in the school. Why were all the boys around Sheng Qingwan so outstanding? Little Chi quickly noticed the commotion around her and said to Tang Xiaobao, "Don't harm me. I can imagine how many people will ask me for your contact information after you leave. Then you can compare." Tang Xiaobao also patted Little Chi's head. However, he was as close as an older brother. But even so, Yinji still felt uncomfortable. It was extremely uncomfortable. In fact, he should have long understood that Little Chi came from a famous family, and there was no lack of outstanding people around her. This was the first time Yinji felt jealous. He wished he could remove Tang Xiaobao's claw. Chapter 1052. In the audience, Feng Shanshan leaned against Mu Qiqi's elbow. "It's that boy just now, right? I have to admit he's a match for my son." Mu Qiqi recalled Yinji's handsome face. That child seemed to have a lot in common with Master Zhao's personality. Therefore, she suddenly understood why her daughter would fall in love at such a young age. "You have good taste." Mu Qiqi concluded with 4 words. Of course, she could not praise him. After all, she had only seen him and did not know his character. "I heard that he's a bully in school. There are a lot of rumors and he often fights. So Little Chi actually likes this." Feng Shanshan found it unbelievable, because it was Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi's child. However, she also felt that it was only natural because Mu Qiqi had liked that kind of Sheng Xiao back then. They're different. Mu Qiqi was referring to Sheng Xiao and Yinji. Master Xiao used to be a fox. But Yinji in front of her was a wolf dog. A fox was cunning, and a wolf dog was ferocious. Not far from the audience, Little Chi had already started the 400-meter race. No one knew Little Chi's skills, so naturally, no one knew what level she was at. Therefore, when she started running, she shocked everyone. On the 4 tracks, she was the only one who looked as light as a swallow. Without any effort, she left her opponent far behind. There was no doubt about this first place. Of course, there was still the semifinals and the finals. After the race, Little Chi wanted to go to her mother's side. But Yinji came out of nowhere and threw a towel on her head. He also placed a bottle of mineral water in her hand. Little Chi wanted to say something to him, but when she saw Tang Xiaobao approaching, Yinji quickly disappeared into the crowd. Was this person throwing a tantrum? Tang Xiaobao looked at the towel on Little Chi's head and smiled mockingly. "Aren't you afraid that your mother will see you being so intimate?" "She knows. Little Chi's cheeks were slightly red. Since you like handsome guys, why don't you like me? Tang Xiaobao couldn't help but ask. You guys are different. Little Chi answered softly as she drank the water. What's different? Tang Xiaobao wanted to hear her explanation. Perhaps he was deliberately provoking He Yanji and pretending to be closer to Little Chi. It's different everywhere. Little Chi wiped her face with a towel. Then put the towel away. You Shungs are all so avant-garde. You're only 12 years old, and you already have a boyfriend. You'll be crying in the future. He's not. Little Chi explained subconsciously. The two of them had not officially confirmed it yet. Speaking of which, He Yanji had clearly said that he would give her an answer after the competition. However, after delivering the towels and water, there was no sign of them. Who cares if he is or not? In short, don't come crying to me in the future, Tang Xiaobao said as he pinched Little Chi's nose. Got it. In Little Chi's heart, Tang Xiaobao was like an older brother. His future was limitless. He inherited Tang Yan's steadiness and self-discipline in everything. This was also one of the reasons why Little Chi found him boring. She enjoyed a free and unfettered life. Excitement, adventure, and excitement. Only He Yanji could give her these things. Go, it's the semifinals. Tang Xiaobao heard the referee read Little Chi's name and pushed her. Compete well. Don't embarrass me. Even if I want to lose face, I won't lose face for your family. Little Chi snorted. Chapter 1053. During Little Chi's semifinals, Tang Xiaobao deliberately waited at the finish line. He wanted to see if He Yanji would not dare to go forward. If it was really someone like Uncle Snake, he did not mind taking the initiative to help the Sheng family clean up. Little Chi's performance on the track was the same as the previous race. Getting first place was still easy. However, during the process, Little Chi noticed that her abdomen was stuffy and uncomfortable. Could it be that her good friend was coming now? She supported herself to finish the race, and then stood at the finish line to breathe. Tang Xiaobao immediately walked over and handed her the rest of the mineral water. Drink it. Little Chi shook her head. She felt awkward because she did not dare to move. What's wrong? Tang Xiaobao did not understand. Little Chi was especially embarrassed. Just as she was about to call Mu Chi-Chi, He Yanji walked out of the crowd. He walked directly to Little Chi's side, took off his coat, and tied it around Little Chi's waist. Let's go. Little Chi was a little surprised. How did He Yanji know? Moreover, was it really okay for him to ignore Tang Xiaobao like this? He Yanji, my pants are dirty, He Yanji said to her in a low voice. I won't be participating in tomorrow's finals. There's still the 1,500-meter run on the last day. Little Chi let him hold her hand. The two of them were about to walk out of the crowd when Tang Xiaobao caught up to them and stopped them. Stop. What right do you have to take Little Chi away in front of her family? He Yanji deliberately held Little Chi's hand tighter. How can someone who can't even see her predicament be called family? Besides, you're your family and I'm my lover. There's no conflict. Young hero, you're so bold. Little Chi was instantly bewitched. Tang Xiaobao looked at He Yanji, and He Yanji responded with a fierce expression. If you want to fight, let's meet another day. I won't back down. That's what I've been waiting for. He Yanji smiled faintly and held Little Chi's hand as he walked to the locker room in the stadium. Little Chi followed He Yanji. Her heart beat faster, and the corners of her mouth curled up. When she reached the locker room, she heard him ask, Do you have any clothes to change into? Yes, Little Chi quickly said. Go, I'll guard you outside. When you come out, we'll have a good talk. Okay. Little Chi nodded. Then, she felt He Yanji let go of her hand. At that moment, she only felt disappointed and lonely. She was clearly in front of him, but he didn't know how to be satisfied. Little Chi quickly entered the changing room and checked. Sure enough, she had dirted her pants. She did not know if anyone else had seen it. She didn't know why He Yanji's eyes were so sharp. He could see her embarrassment at a glance. Just as Little Chi was changing her pants, Mu Chi-Chi called her. Where are you? Mom, take Tang Xiaobao home with Auntie Feng. My good friend is here. He's changing his pants. Little Chi held her phone and said in a low voice. If you want to see He Yanji, let's do it next time. I don't want Tang Xiaobao to get involved. When Mu Qiqi heard that, she knew that she was pressuring her daughter, so she said, "All right. We'll talk about it when we get home tonight. I don't want to tell you guys when I get home. Can't a girl have her own worries?" "But daughter, that kid is indeed quite handsome." After hearing this, little Qi quickly hung up the phone. She really worried a lot. Outside the door, Yanji leaned against the door and smiled. Sure enough, his mother-in-law was here to see him. Chapter 1054. Soon little Qi changed into a new pair of pants and walked out of the changing room. At this time, Yanji was leaning against the stone pillar, lost in thought. "Let's go." Little Qi's face was slightly red. She didn't expect that a boy like him would discover such a thing. Yanji tilted his head to look at little Qi and immediately teased. "Why are you blushing? This kind of thing is always a little embarrassing. What's there to be embarrassed about in front of your husband?" After saying that, Yanji held little Qi's hand and took advantage of the chaos of the sports meet to climb the mountain behind the school. Standing halfway up the mountain, Yanji held little Qi's hand, his palms slightly sweating. "Is that kid today very familiar with you?" "Tang Xiaobao. He's only a few days older than me. We grew up together." Little Qi answered casually, because her gaze was on the two of them holding hands. "You like him?" After hearing Yanji's words, little Qi could feel the jealousy in his tone, so she laughed. "He's just a playmate. We walk different lives. I don't like people who abide by the rules," little Qi explained as she looked at the lively field at the foot of the mountain. "Didn't you say that you have something to say to me? What do you want to say? In the future, don't play with him." Yanji turned around and lifted little Qi's chin. "In the future, you have to play with me. So overbearing." Little Qi was dissatisfied. "I can play with whoever I want. Sheng Qingwan, in the future, you'll be mine alone. You have to listen to me, understand?" As he said this, Yanji reached out and touched little Qi's head. "I'll spoil you so that you won't lose to the status of a princess at home. Can you be more straightforward? Why are you being so straightforward? Understand it yourself." After saying that, Yanji leaned over and gently kissed little Qi on the lips. "This can be considered a seal. When you're 16, I won't just kiss you like this." Little Qi's face instantly turned red. "In the future, be my girlfriend and wife. I'll take good care of you." At this moment, little Qi's heart was shrouded in something called happiness. At the same time, she was worried. Therefore, she took the initiative to bury her head in Yanji's chest and asked in a muffled voice, "Then will you still fight? You have a girlfriend. You have to hit less." Yanji curled his lips. "Little girl, did you like me a long time ago? What about you?" Compared to the usual generous little Qi, the little girl at this moment was so shy that it made people's hearts ache. Of course, Yanji had only ever seen little Qi like this in front of him, so his smile was very satisfied. "The first time I saw this little girl, I wanted to conquer and tease her. I wanted to see your reaction." Yanji reached out and hugged little Qi. "In the future, I will do my best to protect you." Little Qi would probably never forget this day for the rest of her life. The two of them confirmed their relationship on the mountain behind the school. Although the feelings of a 12-year-old seemed so fragile, little Qi believed that at least at this moment, she was experiencing the feelings of her life. "By the way, why did that kid call you little Qi? What kind of nickname was that? Didn't he know?" "My mother's name is Mu Qiqi, so I'm naturally little Qi. It's mainly because my name is too tongue-twisting, so it's not easy to call me by a nickname. So the whole family calls me little Qi," little Qi explained. "No, little Wan is very smooth. From now on, I'll be the only one calling you that. Do you remember?" Before going down the mountain, Yanji seriously instructed little Qi. That was his exclusive name. No one was allowed to snatch it. Chapter 1055. "But I still want to participate in tomorrow's finals," little Qi said to Yanji in a low voice. "I don't like to give up halfway. Are you feeling uncomfortable?" Yanji asked. "400 meters, so it's okay." "Got it." Yanji did not object. In any case, he could just serve her with some red date tea. In Little Chi's heart, she wished that she hadn't left school because she wanted to spend more time with Hiyenji. Go home and have a good rest today. I won't teach you how to ride a motorcycle. We'll talk about it when you're more comfortable. After the two of them returned to the classroom, Hiyenji naturally carried Little Chi's school bag on his back. Little Chi nodded and did not object. The two of them quickly walked up to Chunghui, and Hiyenji handed the school bag directly to Chunghui. Go back and be good, okay? Her voice was so sexy. Was she trying to charm people to death? Little Chi quickly got into her car. After Chunghui drove away, she covered her flushed cheeks. She was really becoming less and less like herself. Hiyenji watched Little Chi leave, before putting his hand into his trouser pocket. However, just as he was about to go to the shed to find his motorcycle, a tall figure blocked his way. Didn't you say we were going to fight? I happen to have time now. Hiyenji was very surprised because Tang Xiaobao had actually waited until they were out of school. Coincidentally, he was also very jealous of Little Chi and Tang Xiaobao growing up together. So the two of them arranged to meet in an open space outside the school. Tang Xiaobao had been taught by Tang Yen since he was young. His skills were definitely not for show, but he lived a very disciplined life, so he had never fought in actual combat. As for Hiyenji, fighting was a walk in the park. Although he hadn't learned it properly, his skills were definitely not just for show. The two of them threw away their school bags and started fighting wildly. Little Chi is the treasure of the Sheng family. Who do you think you are? How dare you covet her? Tang Xiaobao's strength was astonishing. He pressed Hiyenji to the ground and strangled his neck. You're only 12 or 13 years old. What do you know about feelings now? Not only do I dare to think, but I also dare to do it. Xiaowan is my girlfriend. It has nothing to do with any of you. Hiyenji suddenly erupted in resistance. The strength of his fists was astonishing. Tang Xiaobao felt the pain, and his entire face scrunched up. If you dare to bully Little Chi, I won't forgive you. You don't need to worry about my woman. The two boys swung their fists at each other, fighting to their heart's content. However, because Hiyenji was injured, Tang Xiaobao was able to press him to the ground. However, Hiyenji also noticed it, so he did not attack ruthlessly. It doesn't count this time. Let's continue after you've recovered. Am I afraid of you? Hiyenji snorted coldly. I'm warning you, don't tell Little Chi about the fight. I was afraid that you would be a busybody. Hiyenji did not back down at all. Tang Xiaobao admired his determination. He was indeed a good opponent. Tang Xiaobao picked up the bag on the ground and made a provocative gesture at Hiyenji. Hiyenji was not to be outdone. However, he had just promised the little lass not to fight, and in just a short 2 hours, he had already broken his promise. However, her childhood sweetheart was also a little interesting. Soon Little Chi returned home. The first thing she did was to send Hiyenji a text message. Are you home? Hiyenji looked around, propped himself up and answered. I'm looking for a car. Little girl, are you checking on me now? Can't I? Chapter 1056. Of course it's your turn. Hiyenji stood up with difficulty and carried his school bag on his back. Another fight? Little Chi keenly sensed Hiyenji's rapid breathing. I resolved a small conflict. Hiyenji could not bear to lie to her. He could not say it if she did not ask, but if she asked, he could not answer. I'll come down to see you tonight. After saying that, Little Chi hung up the phone. Worry for nothing. Hiyenji put away his phone and found his motorcycle. His tone was obviously very disdainful, but the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up. After dinner, Little Chi took a bunch of medicine from home and prepared to go out. However, she was stopped by Muchichi. Where are you going? Go down and take a look at Hiyenji. Little Chi answered truthfully. Little Chi, tell Mom the truth. Do you really like that kid? Muchichi was still very worried. Yes. Little Chi nodded and didn't deny it. I know I'm still too young. Maybe you'll think that I'm just playing around. I don't know what feelings are. But Mommy, even so, I want to experience my life on my own. I won't regret any decision I make. I don't want to live under your protection. Muchichi took a deep breath. She knew that she couldn't win an argument against her daughter. If it were her, she might not be able to do better. Master Xiao was right about one thing. 12 or 13 years old was the age of enlightenment. Rather than letting her suppress it, it was better to let her experience it. Only in this way could he guide her properly and let her understand true feelings. Mommy doesn't want to object, but I have to remind you. Got it. I know how to protect myself. Little Chi blushed. She knew what her mother was worried about. The forbidden fruit could not be eaten secretly. At the very least, it had to be at the right age. That's good. Come back soon. In fact, little Chi was really grateful to her family. She was very grateful that she had such open-minded parents, so that she would not suffer many setbacks at the beginning of her relationship. She liked He Yanji, and kept thinking about that bad guy in her heart. She had no other choice. At 8:15 p.m., little Chi arrived at He Yanji's house. Auntie Hong brought Grandma He to visit the neighbor's house. So at this moment, He Yanji was the only one left at home. Little Chi knocked on the door and saw that He Yanji's upper body was bare, looking sleepy. Why aren't you wearing clothes? He Yanji's mischievous nature began to play tricks again. He directly dragged little Chi into the room and pressed her against the wall. You knew it was dangerous. Why did you come down? Little Chi glared at him and then saw the injuries on his body. Didn't I say it was just a small scratch? Who knew that little puppy was so strong? He Yanji scoffed. Sit down, little Chi ordered. I'll apply the medicine for you. Got it. My little girlfriend has gone crazy. I can't afford to offend her. He Yanji sat down on the chair. Then he saw little Chi take out medicine from the medicine box and lay on his shoulder to apply it. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, do they know you're coming down? Yes, I told my mom. Little Chi nodded. They really believe in my self-control. He Yanji smiled bitterly. Especially when he saw little Chi's face through the mirror, he wanted nothing more than to steal her. It's all yours, but not now. Little Chi told He Yanji seriously. Who did you fight with? He's injured to this extent. At this moment, He Yanji once again answered carelessly, your childhood friend. Chapter 1057. Who asked that kid to not have a girlfriend to love him? But he did. Soon the medicine was applied. He Yanji touched little Chi's head and pressed her head against his chest. Now, I can only do this to satisfy my craving. Little Chi let him hold her. When Grandma He and Auntie Hong returned, she greeted them and left He Yanji's house. Little girls are really lovable. Auntie Hong also liked little Chi. As a young lady, she was not delicate at all. She was beautiful and considerate. Anyone who saw her would like her. Auntie Hong, I asked her to be my girlfriend. He Yanji was wearing a shirt and could not hide the excitement in his tone. Seriously, girlfriend. But she's still so young. Don't her parents object? Auntie Hong also had concerns. After all, which parent would allow their child to fall in love at such a young age? Her parents are different. He Yanji followed little Chi's route home and could not help but look. As long as you're happy, Yanji. I know that you're a good child who knows his limits. Limits? He Yanji took a deep breath because when he heard these two words, he felt a little numb. Perhaps his father-in-law was also testing his limits. The next morning, the second day of the sports meet, little Chi had a 400-meter final. He Yanji had promised her yesterday to let her participate, but he did not allow her to show off. During little Chi's competition, He Yanji sat in the audience seat the entire time. His gaze followed little Chi, as if he was afraid that he would lose her. Hey, look, who is Junior paying attention to? Which girl is so lucky? She can get his favor? From time to time, the discussions of 2 or 3 girls could be heard. After He Yanji heard this, he frowned and stood up. He took the prepared sugar water to the finish line. Soon little Chi was first. However, after running, she knelt on the ground. He Yanji picked her up from the ground and carried her to her seat. I'm first. Originally, He Yanji wanted to get angry, but when he saw the confidence on Sheng Qingwan's face, he smiled helplessly. This was the Sheng Qingwan he knew. Drink it. He Yanji sat beside her and handed her the sugar water. Little Chi took it and smiled warmly. At that moment, a little fan walked up to little Chi and handed her a love letter. However, He Yanji stopped him. Are you asking for a beating? It's none of your business that I'm looking for Sheng Xiao. The little fanboy seemed a little curious. If you want to die, continue moving forward. Yenji stretched out his leg and blocked the few of them. Little Chi drank the brown sugar water as if nothing had happened, sweeping away all the discomfort in her body. Although those people liked Little Chi, they were even more afraid of Yenji. Therefore, they did not dare to continue forward. They looked at each other and dispersed. If you do this, I won't have any friends soon. Why didn't I know that you have friends? Yenji mocked her. Sit here and rest well. I'm going to prepare for the competition. You don't have to bring me the towel. I'll pick you up for lunch later. Got it? Little Chi nodded. She was really strict. Yenji got up from the chair and rubbed Little Chi's head. However, such an intimate action of his attracted the attention of the girl. The two of them are dating, right? Didn't you see Yenji's doting expression? Chapter 1058. Because of Yenji's instructions, Little Chi did not appear in the crowd. However, even from afar, she could hear the loud screams coming from the field. The high jump and long jump had just been carried out. Yenji was in a relaxed state. He had won 2 first places, but because of his all-rounder attitude, he had attracted the attention of all the girls in the school. Even the cold and aloof campus belle was tempted to confess her love to him. Therefore, after Yenji's competition ended, the school belle appeared on the crowded field and personally delivered a sports drink to Yenji. Student He, I want to invite you for lunch at noon. I wonder if you have the time. What a beautiful scene. The long-haired school belle had personally delivered the drink. This was equivalent to declaring her love in public. It was really enviable. However, Yenji was completely unmoved. He had no intention of taking the things from the school belle. He just bent down to pick up his towel and replied coldly, I don't want anything to happen between me and the school belle. Yenji rejected the school belle. He actually rejected the school belle directly. Everyone was surprised. Which school's school belle? And the school hunk didn't have some love-hate entanglement. However, Yenji had no intention of doing so at all. He didn't do anything at all. He just grabbed his towel and brushed past the campus belle. Oh my God! Everyone looked at the school belle's embarrassed expression, and then looked at Yenji's handsome back. This boy was too arrogant. Tisk, it's just now. Wait a few days and see. Which man can resist the pursuit of a beautiful girl? He doesn't even give the school belle face. He's too good at pretending. Yenji completely ignored what the people behind him said. In any case, he was already used to the commotion. He took the towel and went to the big tree near the locker room. However, he saw Little Chi dozing off against the tree trunk. You're really something. Yenji revealed a doting expression. Then he went forward and shook Little Chi awake. You'll catch a cold if you sleep here. I'll take you to eat. Did you win? Little Chi followed Yenji's footsteps and stood up. What do you think? There's no need to ask about such a meaningless thing, right? Yenji smiled confidently and took the empty bottle from Little Chi's hand. You're quite obedient. You drank it all. So are you still uncomfortable? Little Chi shook her head. My mother is at home, and there's a nutritionist. It won't be a big problem. Are you showing off Miss Jiao's life to me? Didn't you have a childhood like this too? Little Chi ignored his sour words. I saw the photos you took in England. The two of them chatted as they walked. Not far away. The girls in the school were already in an uproar when they saw the scene. Yenji was always cold to the school belle, but he could talk and laugh with Sheng Qingwan. After all, Sheng Qingwan was the richest girl in Jianchuan. It was normal for some men to want to be the son-in-law of the dragon. However, Master Xiao of the Sheng family was famous everywhere. How unafraid of death was Yenji? The two of them had lunch in the cafeteria, and then went back to the classroom to rest. However, along the way, Little Chi had heard a lot of rumors. Therefore, after returning to the classroom, she poked Yenji's arm and asked, The school belle confessed to you? What is this something worth saying out loud? Yenji asked Little Chi before he lay down to sleep. Then he whispered into Little Chi's ear. What can really make my soul dance is your confession. Chapter 1059. Did anyone say? Say what? Yenji stared at little Chi with interest. Say that I like to play with rich people? Who am I? Is this the first day they met? But I know you're not that kind of person, little Chi blurted out and hurriedly explained for Yenji. I know you're not. Yenji carefully sized up little Chi's eyes. Then he flicked her head. I have a notorious reputation. I don't care what others think of me. Little Chi was silent for 2 seconds after hearing Yenji's words. Finally she nodded. I understand. Let's take a nap. Or do you want to do something with me, while everyone is taking a nap? Looking at Yenji's naked gaze, little Chi quickly lay down on the table. Compared to before, this person was even more unscrupulous in teasing. Yenji looked at his obedient wife with satisfaction, and lay down beside her. What school belle? She wasn't the one in his heart. No matter how beautiful she was, it was useless. However, not long after the two of them lay down, little Chi couldn't help but ask Yenji, don't you think the school belle is very beautiful? I don't think so. Don't you think it's great to be confessed by the school belle? Is it great? Yenji turned his head and looked at little Chi. He mouthed to her, the best time in my life is when I kiss you. Aren't you tempted at all? Little Chi deliberately refused to let him go. Looks like you want me to announce our relationship in front of the whole class, Tang Wuling said. When little Chi heard this, she quickly grabbed his hand. Don't do anything rash. Well, you can be more obvious when you're jealous. Yenji smiled proudly. Am I? Little Chi asked Yenji with her eyes wide open. After school, I'll prove with all my heart that I only have one wife. Little Chi was speechless. Damn it, he didn't forget to run his mouth at all times. However, the matter of the school belle wasn't over just like that. Perhaps it was because she was confident in her looks that the school belle wasn't willing to be humiliated by Yenji like this. Therefore, she went around asking about Yenji. No one knew how she found out the address of Yenji's new home. She actually sent someone to deliver things to his door. Sheng Qingwan was rich, wasn't she? She was also rich. And she had a good face and a good figure. She didn't believe that there would be a man who could resist such temptation. The campus belle's battle array was so big that almost everyone in the school knew about it. When Yenji brought little Chi home, he saw flowers and luxury car keys at home. He smiled playfully. Auntie Hong, how many has this been? If I remember correctly, it should be the 37th. Aunt Hong counted with her fingers and said, Young master, you have Miss Xing now. Restrain yourself. Yenji shrugged. I didn't do anything. Xiaowan can testify. Then how do you deal with these things? Little Chi raised her head and asked Yenji. You'll know tomorrow. Yenji shook off those eyesores. Let's go. I'll send you home and do some bad things on the way. Yenji, don't always tease Miss Sheng. Auntie Hong was afraid that little Chi would misunderstand Yenji's frivolity. Auntie Hong, it's okay. I'll learn. Before little Chi could finish her sentence, Yenji had already let her out of the house. In a small alley not far away, Yenji pressed little Chi against the wall and pressed her against it. I have to get used to it. After all, I can't hold it in anymore. Chapter 1060. Then, I still have a few years to go before I grow up. What are you going to do? Yenji lifted little Chi's chin and smiled even more unscrupulously. Are you planning to spend the rest of your life with me, little Wan? Are you just playing with me? Little Chi looked at his handsome face dangerously and asked. Of course. Yenji tapped the tip of her nose. But I want to play with you like this for the rest of my life. Little Chi took the opportunity to wrap her arms around Yenji's neck and plunged into his embrace. This is the first time I like someone. Don't let me be sad and disappointed. Yenji gently rubbed her head, as if he was silently comforting her. The two of them hugged for a while before letting go of each other. Let's go. I'll send you home. For the past 2 days, Yenji had sent little Chi outside the banyan courtyard. However, the previous few times, he had been lucky and did not run into anyone from the Shun and Sheng families. But today Yenji was not so lucky. This was because after he put down little Chi, Master Zhao's phantom stopped beside the two of them. Then, Master Xiao rolled down the window and looked at the two of them outside the door with an indifferent expression. Little Qi was shocked and looked at her father. This was because when a normal person saw his gaze, they would most likely be overwhelmed by his aura. She even couldn't bear it, and subconsciously wanted to stand in front of He Yinji to help him avoid Master Zhao's gaze. However, He Yinji was not moved at all. He met Xing Zhao's gaze calmly and bowed slightly to signal him. Su Che watched from the front, and immediately felt confident. This child had seen the world. He had a noble aura, and was bold enough. Master Xiao seemed to be satisfied. He didn't say anything and took the initiative to close the window. Let's go. When little Qi saw that her father had left, she touched her chest and was a little nervous. Then, she turned around to look at He Yinji, only to see that he was calm and composed. There was no trace of panic at all. Won't you be afraid when you see my dad? Why should I be afraid? Just respect him in your heart. After saying this, He Yinji patted little Qi's head. Go home. Little Qi nodded. I'll watch you leave. Are you that reluctant? There's no alley around that I can kiss you in. He Yinji suddenly crossed his arms over his chest, and his expression was frivolous. Of course, I don't mind kissing you on the street. But, are you okay with it? We're at the doorstep of the Sheng family. Little Qi instantly glared at him. This person always had a bad mouth. I'm going in. Be careful on the road. He Yinji watched his wife enter the house before getting on his motorcycle and leaving. In the living room, Sheng Xiao had just put down his coat. Little Qi couldn't help but feel a little guilty, because she didn't want her father to see it. This kind of thing was always a little embarrassing. Dad! Sheng Xiao raised his hand and looked at his watch. It was 8:30 p.m. Your homeroom teacher called in the morning and said that you got second place in the midterm exam. So you're not going to be ranked last anymore? Sheng Xiao pretended that nothing had happened and diverted his daughter's attention. Let's have a change of taste from time to time. Little Qi sat down beside Sheng Xiao, and her nervousness eased a lot. When you go home in the future, don't go to the door. Dad won't say anything to you. But your grandfather might not be able to accept it. If you bump into him, you'll be the one in trouble. After little Qi heard this, she quickly hugged Sheng Xiao's arm and rubbed against it. Dad, you love me the most. Heh, look at that kid's performance. Sheng Xiao was prepared to give this most difficult task to He Yinji and nurture him from a young age. He was a husband first, and then a father. Only Mu Qiqi was his lifelong responsibility. Chapter 1061. The next morning, Little Qi sent He Yinji a text message, but he did not reply. Little Qi arrived at school alone, but she heard all the students talking. He Yinji had moved all the things that the school bell had sent home to the school, and unscrupulously placed them on the playground. The principal rubbed his aching forehead, and directly ordered the school's cleaners to return all the valuable items to the school bell's home. Didn't they think they had embarrassed themselves enough? For this reason, the school bell once again went to He Yinji's class. Taking advantage of the fact that the sports meet had not started yet, she blocked He Yinji in the classroom. At the door were the school bell's two good sisters. They were there to stop the students in the class from entering. Isn't this school bell too overbearing? She likes He Yinji. Why can't she let us go back to our seats? That's right. What does it have to do with us if she can't catch up to He Yinji? In the classroom, He Yinji sat calmly in his seat, and the school bell stood in front of him. The door and windows of the classroom were filled with his classmates, watching the show. You're really arrogant. The school bell lifted her elegant long hair, and pursed her lips as she looked at He Yinji. I've never been rejected by anyone. There's a first time for everything. He Yinji continued to be poisonous. Why don't you like me? I'm rich and beautiful. How can I not be worthy of you? The school bell continued to make things difficult for He Yinji. Tell me the reason, and I'll let you go. He Yinji took a deep breath, and looked up at the so-called school bell. The reason is, I'm a clean freak. After the school bell heard this, her eyes suddenly widened. Beauty is your capital, and enjoyment is your right. But I have the right to refuse, don't I? I don't want the people in the room to be your boyfriends when I take you out. Isn't that cheap? The school bell's face suddenly turned red and then white. Could it be that this reason is not enough? The school bell was angry and had no way to refute him. At this moment, she suddenly saw little Chi at the door. She pointed at little Chi and asked, "What about her? What is she?" "Her?" He Yinji looked at little Chi in the crowd, and the corners of his mouth curled into a smile. "She's my exclusive, unique, the only creature that can wander around me. I'm too lazy to know your name. Don't touch her. The price is not something you can afford." The school bell glared at little Chi fiercely, took a deep breath, and finally left He Yinji's classroom. Don't regret it if you have the guts. In He Yinji's life, what he had heard the most since he was young was warnings. Therefore, even when facing Master Xiao, his expression did not change. Why would he be afraid of the school bell? Little Chi looked thoughtfully in the direction of the school bell's departure. After he left, she returned to He Yinji's side. "You didn't give her any face at all. The whole school knows about it. If we don't do this, how can we destroy the courage of those little girls?" He Yinji looked at little Chi in confusion. "Hubby, who are you doing this for? Give me some space to perform. It's very boring to finish everything." Little Chi couldn't help but complain. "Xiaowan, your attacks are a little too lethal. Take it easy, huh?" He Yinji said with a smile. Then, he turned his gaze to the sports committee member, looking like he was settling scores. "Who asked you to register Sheng Qingwan for the 1,500-meter race? Can you give me a name?" Chapter 1062. The sports commissioner was so scared that his forehead was covered in sweat. "That. If you don't report it, I'll take it as you?" It was Ruoli's suggestion. The sports commissioner immediately replied, "It's none of my business. He Yinji, don't hit me." He Yinji nodded and turned his gaze away. He didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner. After little Chi heard this, she frowned and turned her head again. "Why don't you arrange for Ruoli to go up? This has already been reported. I can't make the decision. You have to tell the teacher. Moreover, the competition is starting in the afternoon." The sports commissioner replied with a bitter face. Little Chi smiled faintly and didn't look for trouble with the sports commissioner anymore. Instead, she walked to Ruoli's seat and looked down at the weak girl in the seat. "Why did you recommend me to run the 1,500 meters? You said it yourself. You've practiced Sanda, so sports must be your strength. Other than you, no other girl in the class can do this task." And Ruoli explained matter-of-factly. "That's a good reason." After little Chi finished speaking, she turned her back to Ruoli. However, the next moment, she turned around and grabbed Ruoli's shirt, pulling her closer. "Since you like to run so much, go ahead. Anyway, my good friend is here, so you can't run. I'll go and tell the teacher now that you're willing to be a substitute." "I don't want to." And Ruoli immediately trembled. She was as weak as a lamb. "Sheng Qingwan, don't bully others just because your family is rich." "Oh, so you know that my family is rich. Then, you still dare to dig a hole for me behind my back. Obviously, you don't care if I take revenge. I don't care why you framed me. I'll only give you two choices. First, be a substitute and run the 1,500 meters. Second, disappear completely from Jianchuan High School." And Ruoli didn't want to choose either, so she looked at He Yinji for help. "Yinji, please help me say something." "Help you say what? Aren't you reaping what you sow?" He Yinji replied with a slight smile. "I've been sick before. I can't run the 1,500 meters at all. I'll die." "Then have you ever thought that I'm sick too?" Little Chi asked Ruoli seriously. "No one can save you this time. Choose." "I want to find teacher." And Ruoli shouted angrily. "I won't let you bully people as you please." "Then go. In this way, can I take it that you've made the second choice?" And Ruoli did not reply. Instead, she ran straight out of the classroom. At this moment, little Chi asked in front of the whole class, "It was a personal grudge between me and Ruoli just now. It's true that I can't participate in today's 1,500 m due to a special reason. So if any of you are willing to be a substitute, I'll apply to the teacher right now." Of course, if it wasn't for this special reason, I'll definitely finish the race. regardless of whether I'm framed by those despicable people or not. Let me do it. A short-haired girl wearing glasses in the class stood up and said to little Chi, "That's my strength. I was going to sign up for it anyway." Little Chi walked up to him and nodded. "Thank you. This is also my personal honor." While the two of them were talking, and Ruoli had already gone to the office to complain to the old witch. How could the old witch see a student being bullied like this? She immediately returned to the classroom with Ruoli. "Sheng Qingwan, is this how you bully your classmates?" Chapter 1063. Teacher, don't just listen to her side of the story. You should also listen to what others have to say. Isn't that right, Sports Commissioner? Little Chi looked at the trembling Sports Commissioner. The little boy was quite frightened. He immediately stood up and answered, "Teacher, Sheng Qingwan should have been arranged for Sheng Qingwan to apply for the 1,500 meters. But Ruoli suggested to me that Sheng Qingwan knows Sanda, and that her physical fitness is very good. She's very suitable for long-distance running. So she asked me to arrange it for Sheng Qingwan. I thought it was Sheng Qingwan's idea. I didn't expect her to not know at all. I just heard that she's very strong, so I suggested it." And Ruoli explained forcefully, "You know me so well. I heard that I'm very strong, so I suggested it to the Sports Commissioner. Do you know that I have an old illness?" Little Chi questioned Ruoli loudly. "Everyone in the class knows why you did that. Do you still need to explain?" Enough." The old witch pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose and interrupted them sternly. "You guys come with me to the office." Little Chi rolled her eyes. It didn't matter. At most, she would just be scolded. She was used to it anyway. On the other hand, Ruoli always looked weak and pitiful. She didn't know who she was pretending for. In the end, the sports commissioner replaced Yen Zhen, and the teacher had no objections. "You guys go first, and Ruoli stays." After this matter was cleared up, the old witch still had to continue scolding them about puppy love. Little Chi and the sports commissioner walked out of the teacher's office. Then, before class started, Little Chi took out her phone and dialed Cheng Hui's number. "Uncle Hui, there's something I need your help with." She had never used her power to bully anyone in her life. This time, she gave her first time to Ruoli. The sports commissioner walked beside Little Chi and felt a chill run down his spine. He was glad that Little Chi had not been involved. He was practically kneeling down to thank her. Soon, Little Chi returned to her seat. Yenji saw that she was angry, so he held her hand under the table and smiled. "Jealous? I've always had that attitude. Whether it's scolding me or framing me, don't let me see it. Otherwise, I won't be that easy to provoke. Just now you said that you have an old illness. Tell me what's going on." Feeling that Yenji was squeezing her palm very hard, Little Chi's face immediately turned red. "When there's a chance. Fine. I'll patiently wait for my wife's little secret." In the teacher's office, Ruoli was listening to the old witch's earnest lecture. "Student, you're still a student now, so you should focus your energy on your studies and not on those boring things. Especially not hurting others. Although Sheng Qingwan is mischievous, she has been in my hands for almost a year. Unless someone provoked her, she would not take the initiative to teach them a lesson. You were the one who made the mistake first. I hope you can correct yourself in time." If Little Chi heard the old witch's words, she might jump up. She didn't expect that there would be a day when this old witch would speak up for her. However, Ruoli did not have the chance to correct herself, because Little Chi had already said that she would only give her two choices. The first was to be a substitute, and the second was to transfer schools. Since the substitute position was taken by someone else, the only thing left was to transfer schools. Chapter 1064. That afternoon, Ruoli's parents personally went to the school to pick her up. They heard that when Ruoli was taken away, she cried and threw a tantrum. She hugged the big tree in the school and did not want to leave at all. Little Chi deeply regretted that she did not see that scene because in the afternoon, she cheered for Yen Zhen on the playground. Just like that, the 3-day sports meet ended successfully. Because of Yenji's support this year, The class that was originally last in sports could also hold its head high in the grade this time. The old witch's mood improved a lot when she saw this. In order to celebrate our class winning first place in the group this time, we'll organize a class meeting tomorrow night. Those who perform will be rewarded. For students, as long as they didn't go to class, they could do anything. Little Chi was also happy about this, so she turned to look at Hiyenji, who was lying on the table, and asked, "Do you want to perform?" "Tomorrow night. I'm going to accompany Grandma to meet an acquaintance," Hiyenji answered in a low voice. "Is that so? You go ahead. I'll play by myself at the class meeting." Little Chi waved her hand to show that she didn't mind. "I know you want to play with me. Another day, I'll make it up to you." "Who cares?" Little Chi snorted and then said to Hiyenji, "I don't need you to send me off tonight. I'm going to my great-grandfather's house." This little girl had such a strong desire for revenge. After school in the afternoon, the two of them went their separate ways. However, Hiyenji still rode his motorcycle and watched Little Chi get into Chung Hui's car. Only then did he put on his helmet and leave. He didn't know when it started, but it had become his habit to ensure the little girl's safety. Also, what exactly was Little Chi's old illness? This also planted a seed of worry in his heart. On the way back, Little Chi put down her school bag and praised Chung Hui. "Uncle Hui, aren't you too fast?" "Miss, I haven't done this yet," Chung Hui told Little Chi truthfully. Chung Hui told Ming Chi the truth. "Master Xiao asked me to do something else. I haven't had the time." Little Chi was speechless. Then why was Enruoli taken away? Little Chi thought about it, and there was only one possibility, and that was Hiyenji. Therefore, she sent a message to Hiyenji asking, "What exactly happened to Enruoli?" Hiyenji stopped his motorcycle and took out his phone. After reading the message, he smiled and replied, "I just called her parents. They used to be old acquaintances. They probably didn't want their daughter to continue to fall, so they took her away." "TSK, then why didn't you tell me?" Little Chi expressed her dissatisfaction. "There's nothing to say," Hiyenji replied coolly. "Hurry up and go home, little wife. In a few days, I'll introduce you to my friends." When Little Chi saw the word concubine, she could always think of Hiyenji's handsome face. Finally, she smiled sweetly, silently cleaning up the annoying trash for his wife and taking revenge for his wife. He was really as black-bellied as his father at home. "Miss," Chung Hui was puzzled when he saw Little Chi's expression. "It's fine, Uncle Hui. That matter has been settled." Little Chi put away her phone and answered Chung Hui's doubts. After Chung Hui heard this, he remained silent. However, he had doubts in his heart. What was the background of that kid? Even Master Xiao didn't ask about the two children. He didn't believe that the kid was just a hooligan. Actually, he was just a hooligan. It was just that he was a noble hooligan with hundreds of millions of assets. Chapter 1065. The next day at school, without Enruoli, the class was as lively as usual. However, in the morning, the class leaders had already finished gathering all the programs for the night. Although Class 3 had always been bad at results, there were quite a number of talented students. Soon, the 15 programs for the night were ready. In addition, at noon, the class leaders began to decorate the classroom. Little Chi thought that tonight's class meeting would be quite interesting. Unfortunately, Hiyenji did not participate, and even asked for leave from the teacher. "I'm not here at night. Don't secretly miss me." After school in the afternoon, Hiyenji packed up his messy school bag, while looking at Little Chi with pity. "I'll make it up to you in the future." "Who the hell would miss you?" Little Chi replied stubbornly. However, for some reason, when she saw Hiyenji carrying his school bag out the door, she quickly felt something called loneliness in her heart. Hiyenji carried his school bag and walked out of the classroom as usual. He went to the bathroom on his floor. However, when he was washing his hands, he heard someone mention Little Chi's name. "Kid, didn't you prepare a love letter for Xing Qingwan? When are you going to send it out?" "While the class meeting is tonight." "Then I wish you a successful confession." Hiyenji pricked up his ears. After washing his hands for a long time, he walked out of the bathroom as if nothing had happened. Only when no one was looking would he show a helpless expression. You really make me worry. Little Chi knew nothing about all this, and was full of anticipation for the class meeting that night. It was a pity that Yinji was not there at this time. At 6:50 p.m., Jinchuan Middle School's evening self-study session began. Class 3, where little Chi was already exuding a strong aura of youth. This was because the originally pale lights in the classroom had now turned into soft, colorful lights. On the blackboards in front and behind the classroom, there were also colorful activity boards. Balloons and ribbons could be seen everywhere. This was simply the standard for school activities. From the looks of it, it was really full of youthful energy. Little Chi followed her classmates to find their seats one after another. Then, she saw the host come out to adjust the atmosphere. Because students like to fight and fool around, the program was indeed fun and funny. Soon the class meeting was halfway through. It was past 8:30 p.m. Little Chi was holding her phone and eating snacks. She was thinking about whether she should send Yinji a text message, but in the darkness, someone secretly tugged at her. Sheng Qingwan, someone is looking for you outside. At this time, little Chi did not know that someone was confessing to her. She put down her snacks and left through the back door, because the teacher was not that strict during class activities. However, behind the classroom door, a tall and thin boy saw little Chi come out and quickly stuffed the gift into her hand. That, I've been choosing for a long time. I hope you like it. Little Chi was stunned, because she was confused when she encountered such a thing. That, there's a letter inside. I hope you can read it when you get back. The boy lowered his head and looked at the tip of his toes, appearing to be very unconfident. He was obviously a big boy, but his tone was shy and embarrassed. Little Chi looked at the thing in her hand and was racking her brains to think of a way to refuse. However, a figure suddenly appeared and directly returned the gift in her hand to the boy. His voice was also very cold. She doesn't like people like you. After saying that, Yinji directly grabbed little Chi's wrist and pulled her downstairs. Chapter 1066. In the darkness, Yinji pressed little Chi against the corner of the classroom building. His dangerous eyes stared straight into her eyes. I just left for a while, and you're already restless? What does this have to do with me? I'm still in a daze, Mr. Seven quickly explained. Seeing her talk back, Yinji pecked her lips. I'm very angry. It's not like I can control what others think. Little Chi suddenly lost her confidence. She was afraid that Yinji would do something even more out of line. In the future, when someone confesses to you, you have to reject them immediately. Do you understand? Yinji rubbed little Chi's lips with the pad of his finger. You have a family. I got it. Take your hand away. Little Chi straightened her body and whispered. What are you nervous about? Yinji enjoyed her panic, and then pulled her into his arms. Develop well. Pervert. Little Chi blushed and leaned into Yinji's arms nervously. She knew that this was a school, and it was easy for others to discover them. But she was greedy for this moment of happiness. Why did you suddenly come back? Didn't you say you had something to do tonight? If I don't come back, what if you run away with someone else? Yinji held her hand, gently pushed open the window of the primary school classroom, and jumped in with her. Little Chi's heart skipped a beat. This person was really capable of doing anything. However, it had to be said that in that quiet corner, there was only the two of them. This made little Chi feel much more at ease. We have to go back. The old witch wants to find someone, little Chi said carefully in a low voice. Yinji hugged her and did not let go. The corners of his mouth curled up. Let her find. Or do you really want me to let go? Little Chi did not say anything. Of course, she hoped that the two of them could be alone for a little longer. However, after the two of them stayed quietly for a moment, Yinji suddenly pushed little Chi and said, Let's go. I'll send you back to the classroom. Didn't you say you weren't going back? Yinji did not say anything. He left the classroom with little Chi and closed the doors and windows. Little Chi felt that his unpredictable habit seemed to be acting up again. She always did not know what he was thinking. When they reached the classroom, Yinji pushed little Chi up the stairs. Let's go back. Little Chi frowned and felt a strong sense of loss in her heart. However, she did not ask in detail and returned to the classroom from the back door as if nothing had happened. After making sure that no one had noticed, she sent a message to Hienji. Why? Why? When Hienji saw these 3 words, he also wanted to ask himself why. But a moment later, he had a very clear understanding in his mind. This girl was different from all the girls he had ever known. If he wanted a future with little Chi, he had to restrain his frivolous behavior. He didn't want little Chi to follow him to the end. In the past, he clearly wanted to tease her and lead her astray. But now he only hoped that she would become better and better. Because I don't want my wife to get a demerit like me. I'll wait for you at the school gate tonight and send you home. Seeing this answer, little Chi also understood the struggle in his heart. The countless questions and frustrations in his heart had all turned into sweetness and happiness at this moment. Because this gave little Chi an answer. What he cared about was not just the present. What he cared about was their future. This was true liking. Chapter 1067. After returning to the classroom, the tall and thin boy from before moved to little Chi's side again. Was the boy who took you away just now Hienji? Little Chi was stunned for a moment. She realized that the other party might not have seen Hienji's face clearly, so she coughed lightly and explained. Hienji asked for leave, right? He's someone I'm familiar with. When he saw me with a boy, he was afraid that I would be at a disadvantage, so he dragged me out and gave me a good scolding. You better not get close to me. Little brother's temper is too bad. I'm afraid he'll cause trouble for you. The other party was timid to begin with. After being scared like this, he immediately smiled awkwardly and said, I was just joking with you. Don't take it to heart. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine as long as I explain it clearly. Little Chi waved her hand and immediately heaved a sigh of relief. After the class meeting ended, little Chi grabbed her school bag and walked out. Before the others could walk out of the school gate, she had already stepped onto the back seat of Hienji's motorcycle. Hienji looked at her shocking move and quickly asked, Who's chasing you? Aren't we supposed to keep our relationship a secret? If we don't leave now, others will find out. Little Chi quickly said, Think about it. My boyfriend is Hienji. If others find out, it'll be a little troublesome. Hienji saw her muttering and smiled dotingly. There's still half an hour. Shall I take you to eat something delicious? My parents didn't say that I have to go home at 9 o'clock. That's your parents. As your boyfriend, I have the obligation to send you home before 9 o'clock. After Hienji said that, he put on his helmet and took advantage of the fact that there was no one around to carry little Chi through the streets and alleys. Finally, they arrived at the entrance of a snack shop. Is this it? Little Chi got off the car and saw the tattered signboard. She felt a little creepy and felt that this place was selling human flesh. Hienji did not answer her. Instead, he went straight into the dessert shop and took out a dessert. Here, little Chi held it in her hand and was a little surprised. Such a shabby shop can actually make such a cute shape. This is the first piece of cake I've eaten since I came to Jianchuan. On the day my parents got into an accident, I bought dessert here. From then on, I never knew what dessert tasted like, Hienji explained calmly. There was even a trace of self-deprecation at the corner of his mouth. Because of my gluttony, I avoided the car accident. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Little Chi looked at the dessert in her hand and quickly licked it. Of course I'm lucky. I almost died, so I know that living is the best. Hienji put down the motorcycle, held little Chi's hand, and took her for a walk on the street. Old illness. What happened? When I was 9, I had a serious illness. Little Chi said casually. I went to the operating table and fainted several times. My mother was so scared that she didn't sleep for a few days. However, I don't really remember what caused it. I can't remember. Hienji patted little Chi's head. If you can't remember, then don't think about it. In fact, Hienji knew that little Chi's old illness was at the back of her head, because every time he touched it, he would feel the existence of that scar. This cake is really delicious. No wonder you loved it when you were young. Little Chi took a bite and couldn't stop. Although her mouth was a little cold, it was very sweet in her mouth and heart. Let's go. I'll send you home. Yenji put away his tender gaze toward little Chi. He put his arm around her shoulder and brought her back to the spot where the motorcycle was parked. The children of rich people were really not 100% happy. For example, he and little Chi, they would give as much as they got. In the darkness, the shadows of the two people were stretched very long. After school tomorrow, I'll take you to meet my friends. Really? Chapter 1068. After returning home, little Chi sat in the study in a daze. Chi opened the door and saw her. She sat down on her daughter's desk. Do you want me to take a picture of your current expression? Mom. Little Chi glared at her. Don't laugh at me. So why were you in a daze just now? Chi got up from the desk, pulled little Chi to the sofa and asked. What does it feel like to feel heartache? Then tell me first, how do you feel in your heart? Chi said gently to her daughter. A little sour, a little painful. When I think about what happened to him, I want to give him all the best things. This is what heartache feels like. Chi said to little Chi seriously. Chi said to little Chi seriously. My daughter has really grown up. She knows how to love people. Thinking about how she was discussing boys with her mother at this age, little Chi was still a little embarrassed. Mom, you're not laughing at me in your heart, are you? Chi thought about it and felt a little innocent. Why can't mommy be your good friend and best friend? Because I'm still too young. After Chi heard this, she pulled her into her arms. It's precisely because you're young that feelings are the cleanest and purest. Your mother knows this feeling. Back then, I also carefully liked your father, and I encountered many obstacles and objections. But I understand that obstacles and objections can't stop feelings from happening. Since that's the case, why should I avoid it? After all, I don't want my daughter to be unable to enjoy her youth because of these obstacles. Feelings are never right or wrong. What's wrong is a person's choice. After hearing Chi's words, little Chi leaned into Chi's arms and rubbed against her. You're the best mother in the world. Chi deliberately teased her and asked, You don't want to marry your father now? My father is an old fox. I like little wolf dogs. Hey, that's too much. Although you have a new lover, you can't dislike my precious. Chi let go of her daughter and patted little Chi's head like Yenji did. Rest early. I'll go to the company to pick up your father. Got it. If you want to call, do it openly. Don't hide under the covers and hurt your eyes. Chi told her daughter before leaving. Little Chi stuck out her tongue at Chi. Her mother had seen through this. She really had the best parents in the world. How great would it be if she could share this with Yenji? I'm taking a shower. Do you want to see? On the other end, Yenji's voice was low and tempting. I'm taking a shower. Do you want to watch? On the other side of the phone, Yenji's voice was low and seductive. Who wants to see? Don't you want to see your husband's body sooner or later? Yenji continued to tease. Little Chi's face turned red from being teased. She shouldn't have felt sorry for this dead gangster. Xiao. I said I. Xiao to xiao use. I chi I. I you. After saying this, Yenji laughed even more heartily. Can't the alleys on the street satisfy you anymore? Madam? What I want to say is, don't be sad about your parents passing. I'll be there for you in the future. It was rare for little Chi to interrupt when he was not being serious. Chapter 1069. Without waiting for Yenji's reaction, little Chi hung up the phone so that this person wouldn't be serious all day long. Yenji heard the beeping sound and shook his head helplessly. Who would just hang up the phone after saying sweet nothings? But for some reason, he suddenly felt that his frozen heart seemed to have signs of cracking. So, he touched his heart and closed his eyes in satisfaction. Because of the sports meet, little Chi and the honest Yin Jun became good friends. When Yenji was not in the classroom, little Chi would go to Yin Jun's seat to chat. That girl took after her appearance. Because she was gender neutral, she had a handsome side in her bones. She hated small groups of girls the most, and she never schemed against others with other girls. However, because of her gender-neutral attire, it was easy for boys and girls to ignore her. She herself was also very low-key. If it weren't for the sports meet, Little Chi felt that she wouldn't have been able to find this friend worth making. There were other girls who had privately tried to rope Yinjin in and asked her to isolate Little Chi. However, Yinjin coldly rejected them with one sentence: "Jealousy makes people ugly." From that moment on, the relationship between Little Chi and Yinjin began to become unusual. During the first class in the morning, Yinji carried his school bag and walked into the classroom like a bad student. Little Chi thought of what she had said to him last night and couldn't help but feel her cheeks heat up. She felt that she had been too proactive. Did men not cherish her? When Yinji sat down, he saw his little wife's red face. He immediately asked in confusion, "What are you thinking about so early in the morning?" "I'm not thinking about you." Little Chi obviously didn't mean what she said. "Do you think I believe you?" Yinji put down his school bag in amusement and tilted his head to look straight at Little Chi. "If you didn't think about me, I'll cut off my head and let you sit on it." Little Chi was speechless. She was going to die. It was suddenly so bloody. Little Chi turned her head and ignored this person. During class, the two of them were not as intimate as they were after school, because in the eyes of others, Little Chi was Yinji's enslaved little brother. "Are you looking forward to seeing my friend tonight?" While the old witch was in class, Yinji suddenly wrote a small note to Little Chi. "Pfft," Little Chi replied with disdain. "Think about it. This is acknowledging your sister-in-law's identity." Seeing this line of words, Little Chi replied to Yinji in a domineering manner, "I don't need anyone to acknowledge my identity." When Yinji saw this, he gave Little Chi a thumbs up. If this girl wasn't the daughter of a rich family, she would really be suitable to be a big sister. However, even though they had made an appointment, the two of them were unable to make it. After lunch, Yinji received a call and left the school. He didn't even say a word to Little Chi. During the afternoon class, Little Chi looked at the empty seat beside her and felt very upset. But who asked her to fall in love with a hooligan? That afternoon, after school, news of Yinji getting into another fight spread. However, this time, it wasn't those little hooligans. Yinji had really provoked someone he shouldn't have. Little Chi and Yinjin left school together. However, when she heard the news, her face suddenly fell. Yinjin looked at him and asked, "What's going on between you and Yinji?" Chapter 1070. What do you mean, what's going on? Little Chi's eyes flickered as she spoke vaguely. Come on. All the girls in the school have eyes. Other than you, Yinji has never bothered with anyone else. The school belle chased after him so much and was humiliated by him. Yet you can be his underling. Why? Even if he can make you his lackey, what about you? I don't believe that you will be ordered around by him. Yinjin knew that the relationship between the two of them was not ordinary. I'm also thinking about what my relationship with him is. Little Chi's tone was filled with confusion and melancholy. Yinji did dote on her and treated her very well. But, every time something happened, she had to find out what Yinji was doing from the rumors. What was this? Why was he fighting again? Didn't he promise her that he would fight less? What was it for this time? Yinji is a prodigal son. I believe that while all the girls in the school like him, they also have the ambition to save the prodigal son. This is the naivety of women. They think that a person will change for themselves just because they like another person. Are you the same? After hearing Yinjin's words, Little Chi looked at her in surprise. You're the same age as me. Are you so interested in relationships? TSK, I have 3 brothers at home. I'm already used to it. Yinjin replied disdainfully, and then patted Little Chi's shoulder. The more unpredictable a person is, the more attractive he is. But if he's ordinary, you won't like him either, right? This is what women are like. After Little Chi heard this, she felt that it made sense. She didn't call Yinji, nor did she take the initiative to contact him. Why did a woman's emotions have to chase after a man? Little Chi did like Hiyenji, but she really didn't like the feeling of her emotions being controlled by others. So she went home coolly. Cheng Hui was a little surprised that little Chi didn't go on a date with that kid today. Thinking about it, his young mistress should be tired of it. However, at 8 o'clock in the evening, little Chi received a call. She picked up her backpack and asked Cheng Hui to send her to the hospital. What was he trying to do? Little Chi quickly entered the inpatient department of the school's affiliated hospital and saw Hiyenji, whose face was bruised and swollen. He was wrapped in gauze and lying on the bed. Around his bed, there were a few injured boys sitting there. Little Chi went straight into the ward, but was stopped by one of the boys. Where did this little infatuated fool come from? You even chased me all the way to the hospital. Hiyenji looked up and immediately shouted, "Are you blind? That's your sister-in-law. Why aren't you moving?" The few of them immediately obeyed the rules and gave their seats to Little Chi. Little Chi walked up to Hiyenji and immediately poked the back of his red and swollen hand. "Why didn't I kill you? It hurts. Leave me some face." Hiyenji rubbed her palm, signaling her to calm down. The lackeys looked at each other in dismay. They thought to themselves that young master, he was too lucky. He found such a beautiful sister-in-law. He was going to raise his wife from a young age. Get out, get out." They gestured to each other and moved the ward out for the young couple in the room. When Hiyenji saw this, he couldn't help but look at little Chi. After a long time he said, "Although the method is a little special, your identity as sister-in-law has been introduced. Why are you fighting again?" Hiyenji thought for a moment. As if he had expected her to ask, he rested his head on his pillow and answered, "Auntie Hong has a son. Because of his intelligence problems, he is always bullied. I received a call from Auntie Hong and rushed over. I saw that the other party was forcing him to drink urine. Do you think I can tolerate it? I thought you would be very angry, but I'm really surprised that you're so calm." Little Chi sat down on the chair and looked at Hiyenji's face. After pretending, she asked again, "With your injury, you won't be able to go to school for many days, right? Little heartless. Don't worry. Even if your husband doesn't study, he can still get first place." Chapter 1071. Of course I have to be calm, because in the future, there will be more and more of these things. Little Chi frowned. The words that came out of her mouth sounded like a little old woman. I've always known that we're from two different worlds. Seeing that she was suddenly so serious, Hiyenji freed his right hand and held her cheek. Bullsh *T. Don't seduce me and I'm about to escape. No way. Hiyenji. Don't break up with me. It's only been a few days. Hiyenji quickly covered her lips and warned her. I told you before that I can do anything for you. But I can't change the matter of fighting for you now. I need to protect myself and my family. Little Chi saw that he was aggressive and pursed her lips. I didn't want to break up. I just wanted to say, can you tell those hooligans not to hit me in the face every time? Hiyenji. Why don't you call me next time and I'll go too? Little Chi put down her school bag and took out a plaster from it. I've also trained. It's different from your unorthodox ways. Otherwise, in a few years, I'll have to go to my mother's dissection table to see you. Hiyenji. Other than winning, you also have to not let yourself get hurt in a fight. Do you understand? He didn't panic, but from Little Chi's firecracker-like words, Hiyenji could still hear a strong sense of worry. Therefore, he reached out and held Little Chi's warm palm. I'm sorry. What's the use of apologizing to me? Little Chi broke free from his palm in disdain. You're the only one who's sorry. Are you still angry? Little Chi ignored him. She stayed with this person until 9 o'clock. When the alarm clock rang, she immediately picked up her school bag and got up from the chair. You rest by yourself. Hiyenji watched as Little Chi left. He wanted to reach out and grab her, but there was a strong sense of powerlessness in his palm. Because so what if he caught Little Chi? Could he promise his wife that he would never fight again in the future? The two of them were born in different environments. At his age, other than using force, he had no better way to protect himself and his family. He had an inheritance, an uncountable inheritance, But he couldn't tell anyone. Because he couldn't attract his second uncle's attention. He couldn't let everything about his parents fall into the hands of his enemies. What else could a 13 or 14-year-old boy rely on to protect his loved ones? Before he had wings, he only had his fists. After little Chi walked out of the ward, she leaned against the wall and thought carefully about what she wanted at this moment. She didn't even know what she was so uncomfortable about. But he felt uncomfortable, extremely uncomfortable. When he got home, he saw Muchichi. "Mommy." Muchichi caught her daughter and asked, "What's wrong?" "I have some questions that I don't understand." Muchichi knew that the only person who could make her daughter look like this was that brat. She dragged little Chi into the room. "What happened?" Little Chi told Muchichi everything that had happened today. "I don't know what I'm feeling right now." After Muchichi heard this, she couldn't help but laugh. "You're afraid, little fool, because you know that it's wrong for that brat to fight. One day, he might pay the price for it, and our family's environment might make you two drift apart." Little Chi was speechless. She hit the bullseye. It was only after she fell in love with Hiyenji that she developed all kinds of unknown emotions. Chapter 1072. Daughter, I'm really surprised that you can tell mommy all this. I'm also very surprised at how mature you are. You're not like a normal little girl, crying and throwing a tantrum. Muchichi patted little Chi's head. With your mother, there's no solution to this kind of thing. There's only one thing, and that's courage. Face whatever you're afraid of. The more afraid you are, the more you have to face it. Although it's wrong for that kid to fight, it's indeed forgivable because that's how he's always lived. In addition, the future of two people doesn't depend on looking at it, but on constantly narrowing the gap between each other and working hard for it. Little Chi listened in a half-hearted manner. In the end, she only asked Muchichi one question. What if my dad was the one who got beaten up? Whoever beat up your dad, I'll definitely return it tenfold. Muchichi gave little Chi an answer decisively. If you like someone enough, and that person is worth it, then there's nothing you can't bear. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. All right, little Chi, it's time to rest. Muchichi did not continue. Her ability to understand emotions was not something that could be stuffed into a person's mind with just a few words. Little Chi also nodded. Thank you, Mommy, for answering my questions. Muchichi patted her head again and finally sighed. I hope Mommy isn't harming you by telling you this. Little Chi forced a smile. After Muchichi left, she called Hiyenji. What do you want to eat tomorrow? After school I'll bring you. Xiaowan. Hiyenji received the call and felt very upset. Hurry up and tell me. Little Chi pretended to be impatient. I want to see you now. I'll press you against the wall and kiss you hard. Little Chi said. No way. In the next life, I'll bring you a nutritious meal tomorrow. That's all. I'm hanging up. After saying that, Little Chi decisively put down her phone. It was a relationship that had just begun. Since she had tasted the sweetness, she would naturally taste the bitterness. After hearing Muchichi's words, Little Chi thought about it for the whole night. She suddenly understood something. When she fell in love with Hiyenji, he was already hopelessly bad. According to her mother, that was Hiyenji's way of life. She didn't seem to have the right to dictate Hiyenji's lifestyle, even if they were as close as lovers. After thinking it through, Little Chi relaxed a little. In class the next day, although they heard the old witch complaining about Hiyenji's leaving class, Hiyenji also said that even if he didn't come to class, he would still be first at the end of the term. After school, Little Chi took the thermos to the hospital. When Hiyenji saw the person he was thinking about, he couldn't hide the smile on his face. Xiaowan, are you here for me to kiss? You're already like this, and you're still not being honest. Little Chi glared at him. After Hiyenji heard this, he said calmly, Isn't I the person you like? Good or bad, this is a side of me. Little Chi took out the nutritious meal coldly and placed it in front of him. Who said I like you? I don't know who it was, but 2 days ago, she plunged into my arms and loved me so much. Little Chi didn't say anything. Hiyenji could tell that she was being awkward. So he took the opportunity to hold her hand and said, I know what you're worried about, but can you believe that I know what I'm doing? Who told me to not be able to resist your temptation and turn you into my wife? I'll take responsibility. Chapter 1073. Little Chi had been thinking a lot for the past few days, so she was immune to Yinji's teasing. The final exam is coming up soon. Hurry up and get better. Do you want me to be last again? Got it, housekeeper. Yinji took the nutritious meal and couldn't help but laugh. When I recover, I'll find a small forest and quietly bring you in. Little Chi was speechless. Was this matter very urgent? Was it? In fact, Yinji had kissed Little Chi twice, and it had only been a second. She didn't even have time to taste what it was like to kiss. Speaking of which, she had to wait until she was 16 years old. But she asked herself, could she really wait until then? Just like that, Little Chi went to class during the day and fed Yinji with all kinds of nourishing things after school. After a while, Yinji's injuries quickly recovered. During this period of time, the school was also safe and sound. However, without Yinji, the source of evil, the school lost a lot of the fun of gossip. When will Yinji be discharged from the hospital? During lunchtime, Yanjun and Little Chi sat in the cafeteria and chatted. It's been almost half a month. Soon. Little Chi sighed. In fact, after Yinji was hospitalized for a week, he had been clamoring to leave the hospital. However, Little Chi had forcefully held him down and asked the doctor to do a comprehensive examination on him. He found that the new and old injuries on his body had been alternating and had never healed. Therefore, Little Chi ordered Yinji to leave only after the doctor confirmed that he could be discharged from the hospital. Yinji was already feeling guilty about the fight. Now that he was being controlled by his wife, he did not struggle and went along with Little Chi's wishes. Does Yinji really have many girlfriends? And Little Chi knew that Yanjun had a lot of questions, so she put down her bowl and chopsticks and answered her seriously. They're all rumors. So far, I'm the only serious girlfriend he has. Moreover, the first time he held hands, hugged, and kissed was all mine. That person likes to disguise himself as a bad person. After Yanjun heard this, she nodded in disbelief. I didn't expect Yinji to be so innocent. How did you win him over? Of course it's because my wife has an interesting soul. The voice that suddenly appeared above their heads made them both stunned at the same time. This person appeared and disappeared mysteriously. Was he trying to scare them to death? Little Chi tilted her head and saw Yinji's handsome face. She glared at him. Why did you leave the hospital without permission? I'm going to rot. Yinji looked at Little Chi pitifully. Yanjun couldn't help but shiver. She had goosebumps all over her body. As expected of a person in love, it was an eye-opener for her. Yinji was such a cold and evil person. But in front of Little Chi, he had such a devoid of love expression. Yanjun instantly felt that her worldview had been overturned. The three of them finished lunch together in the cafeteria, and Yinji announced his official return to school life. Little Chi saw that he was full of energy in physical education class in the afternoon, and finally felt relieved. This person's recovery ability was indeed different from ordinary people. However, just as the first class of the evening self-study session ended, Yinji sent a text message to Little Chi, asking her to go to the garden. Little Chi suddenly remembered what Yinji had said some time ago. He wanted to drag her into the woods and kiss her to his heart's content. Chapter 1074. When Little Chi entered the forest, there was not even a shadow. This was because there was a certain distance from the teaching building of the junior high school department. During the 10-minute break between classes, especially at night, no one came to stroll around. Little Chi thought that Yinji was playing with her. Just as she was about to make a phone call, a hand suddenly reached out from the tree beside her and pulled her over. Little Chi was forced to lean against the tree, while Yinji looked at her sideways with his arm propped up. Don't get so close to me. Little Chi was a little panicked. Yinji couldn't help but laugh. You're usually so eloquent. But when it comes to times like this, you're so timid. It's so late at night. Who knows why you called me over? Little Chi lay on his arm and muttered. What else can I do? Of course it's a kiss. Before he could finish his sentence, a light suddenly lit up in the forest. Yenji quickly pulled Little Chi into his arms, pressed her head, and hid her face so that no one could see it. A student passed by and heard the commotion. He thought that something had happened, and turned on the flashlight on his phone fearlessly. However, Yenji scolded him. Are you looking for a beating? When the other party saw that Yenji was actually hugging a girl, his hands trembled in fear, and he quickly turned off the flashlight. Oh my God! Previously, there had been rumors in the school that Yenji had gotten a girl pregnant. After all, no one had really seen it. But this time, someone had seen Yenji hugging a girl with their own eyes. No one knew who it was. After the boy left, Little Chi immediately said in a muffled voice, the whole school is going to be talking about it again. It's all your fault. You made me come to the forest. Yenji let go of Little Chi and smiled slightly. There are a lot of rumors about your husband. Besides, I'm hugging my wife. Who would dare to say anything? Then should we go back now? Little Chi asked again. You go first. I'll be back later. Yenji pushed Little Chi out. The night covered Little Chi's hot cheeks. She suppressed her wildly beating heart and walked out of the forest. It was not for anything else, but because Yenji's subconscious action to protect her just now made her smile uncontrollably. Soon Yenji also returned to the classroom. The two of them acted as if nothing had happened and finally waited until school was over. I haven't seen my dad for a few days. I won't go home with you tonight. When Little Chi left the school, she texted Yenji. Okay, be careful on the road. Yenji rode on the motorcycle and looked at his empty back seat. This little girl must have deliberately left to avoid suspicion. It seemed that the small forest was really dangerous and exciting. As expected, the next day at school, the whole school knew about Yenji hugging a girl in the garden. The boys were jealous and the girls were envious. He didn't know which girl was so lucky to attract Yenji's attention. One had to know that Yenji was not even willing to give the role of the school belle to play with. Yenjun heard the rumors and asked Little Chi before class started. Did you know that Yenji was caught hugging a girl yesterday? Can you not mention this? Little Chi blushed. Yenjun laughed when she saw that. Did you go into the woods yesterday? How audacious. Who knew that place would be so dangerous? Little Chi coughed lightly. By the way, you and Yenji, how far have you progressed? Chapter 1075. Hug. Kiss. Or. Little Chi immediately covered Yenjun's mouth. Keep your voice down. Then tell me. Yenjun asked. After all, who could resist the temptation of such gossip? Just kiss, hug, and raise me high. Little Chi summarized concisely. Little Chi concluded concisely. It's not what you think between us. We're very well behaved, okay? Yenji really doesn't seem like a person who follows the rules. That's because you don't understand him, Little Chi replied in her heart. There were not many people in this world who could truly understand Yenji. Of course, he didn't care what others thought of him. The two of them gossiped for a long time. But until the first class, Little Chi still didn't see Yenji. He was fine yesterday, but she didn't know what he was doing today. Little Chi took out her phone to call Yenji, but his phone was turned off. Thinking of what he had said about Andy Hong's son, could it be that the other party knew that he had recovered and was discharged from the hospital? So he came to seek revenge? Thinking of this possibility, Little Chi's heart was a little confused. If she had known, she would have left Andy Hong's phone number. That way, she would be able to know Yenji's situation at any time. Finally, school was over. Little Chi immediately carried her school bag and went to Yenji's house. However, his door was tightly shut. She didn't know where Auntie Hong and Grandma he had gone. Thinking of this, Little Chi went to the billiard hall again. When the owner of the billiard hall saw Little Chi, he hurriedly came up and said, "Grandaunt, why are you here all of a sudden? Can't I come? Is Yenji here?" Little Chi asked straightforwardly. You're just a little girl. Don't worry about these things. Go home and rest. How could the owner of the billiard hall dare to tell little Chi the truth? Looking at the owner's expression, he did know where Yinji was now. Tell me. I have bodyguards to protect me. Maybe I can help him. Little Chi showed Cheng Hui to the boss. The boss deliberated for a moment and finally told Mu Chi. Last time, young master, he saved someone. He offended a popular person in the underworld. That big brother named him to make young master he suffer. Now the two sides are arranged to fight. It's behind this mountain. After little Chi heard this, she turned to look at Cheng Hui. Let's go. Miss. What are you afraid of? Little Chi's tone was calm. She looked exactly the same as her father. They both had a fearless temper. Soon, little Chi and Cheng Hui rushed to the back mountain and saw that it was filled with people fighting. Yinji was among them. His methods were wild and ruthless. He did not give his opponent a chance at all. However, Yinji only brought 5 people with him, and the other party had more than 20 people. They were outnumbered. After a long time, Yinji and the others were at a disadvantage. Uncle Hui, you pick 10, I'll pick 5. Sure. Cheng Hui answered in a heroic tone. But if you ask, push it to me, little Chi said bluntly. Yinji quickly saw little Chi's figure and frowned. Yinji's lackey also said, Young master, isn't that sister-in-law? Why are you causing trouble at this time? Who told you that she's here to cause trouble? Yinji covered his arm and looked at the little girl not far away. In the next second, little Chi used her agility that surprised everyone present to throw a 17 or 18-year-old youth to the ground. Chapter 1076. Wow! Yinji's companions were so surprised that their eyeballs almost fell out. As expected of my wife, Yinji suddenly became energetic. With little Chi and Cheng Hui joining the battlefield, the 20 or so people were soon beaten to a pulp. Seeing a group of people sitting on the ground and wailing, little Chi immediately grabbed one of her lackeys and warned, If you're still not convinced, come to the Sheng family to settle the score. I'll get the martial arts champion behind me to brainwash you. An 11 or 12-year-old little girl had actually learned her father's aura to the fullest. Perhaps it was because of his defensive awareness in a moment of desperation. The man who was being pulled by little Chi took out a dagger from his ankle and slashed at little Chi's neck. When Yinji saw this, he immediately blocked it. The sharp blade immediately cut Yinji's arm, revealing a hideous bloody wound. Little Chi held Yinji's arm and slapped the man in the face. The force was so heavy that the man fainted. This was the skill of a martial artist. When the others saw that little Chi was angry and that she was a member of the Sheng family, they immediately felt fear. The leader of the gangsters immediately led his lackeys away, as if they were running for their lives. The battlefield was quickly cleaned up. When Yinji saw this scene, he threw away the wooden stick in his hand and really experienced a hero saving a damsel in distress. However, he was the one who was saved. Sister-in-law is so cool. Young master, why didn't you say so earlier? That's right. She's too cool. She's a hero among women. I didn't expect sister-in-law to save us in the end. Young master, devote yourself to her and thank her on our behalf. The few of them chattered nonstop in Yinji's ears. At this moment, little Chi straightened her body and glared at Yinji. I can react. Who asked you to block it? Yinji covered his arm and looked at his wife. The corners of his mouth curled up. I believe that you can block it, but this is a natural reaction of my body. It's exactly the same as when I want to kiss you. I can't control it either. Little Chi was speechless. Soon they left the battlefield. Along the way, Yinji's companions kept clamoring to learn orthodox combat techniques from Cheng Hui. In the end, they were thrown back to their respective homes by Yinji. When there were only 3 people left in the car, Yinji suddenly said to little Chi, Put me by the beach. This will scare Grandma. Actually, the wound isn't deep. Little Chi looked at his bloody arm and turned to Cheng Hui. Uncle Hui, find a small clinic. Yes, Mississippi. Yinji knew that little Chi was still sulking, so he didn't struggle anymore. Yesterday, you were fighting with people from school. Now you're fighting with gangsters. In a few days, you might be dead on the streets. Little Chi raised his arm to disinfect it as she muttered, "Must we take this path?" Yenji sat on the simple bed with one leg and looked down at Little Chi, who was burying her head. "I have no choice, Xiaowan. I used to be polite. Even if I was willing to be humble, the other party wouldn't let me go. All these years, I've been walking between bullying and being bullied. I'm already used to it." Why? Little Chi didn't understand why these people were so keen on finding trouble with him. Yenji paused for a moment. Finally, he lowered his head and laughed at himself. "Because I have a second uncle who can't wait for me to die on the streets." Yenji only said half of what he said, and Little Chi only listened to half of it. She had no intention of revealing other people's scars. "I've been trying my best to endure it until I reach adulthood." Chapter 1077. The birth of some people meant that they were destined not to be able to live like ordinary people. Yenji looked at Little Chi with a complicated expression. This was the most serious expression Little Chi had ever seen on Yenji. Little Chi did not say anything. At this moment, Yenji suddenly leaned over and kissed Little Chi on the lips. Treated as a painkiller, Little Chi raised her head without any thoughts. "I don't know how to treat you now. I'll hire a bodyguard for you and bring you into the Sheng family's sphere of influence. You definitely won't want to, but I can't just stand by and watch. I'm not good or bad to you." Yenji looked at Little Chi's complicated expression and suddenly pulled her into his arms. "Just like this, it's very good." With a hug, Little Chi could no longer speak. "I'm with you because I want you to be happy. If you're with me and there's only heaviness left, then I will be the one who doesn't know what to do. Do you know? Silly girl." Yenji took the opportunity to rub Little Chi's head. "I don't want you to always get hurt." "I know. I'll solve this matter," Yenji promised her. Little Chi still wanted to ask him how he could guarantee it, but Yenji suddenly put his finger on Little Chi's lips. "Sho, are you some little old woman?" Little Chi raised her fist and hammered his chest. "I don't care about you anymore." She was at loggerheads again. Yenji smiled as he watched Little Chi leave the clinic. She was just too cute and didn't know it. But soon, he put away his playful expression and took out his phone to call Auntie Hong. He asked her to comfort his grandmother that he was going to do something that night. Then, he went to the billiard hall and asked the very popular curator to contact the big brother in the underworld for him. "Young master, are you really going to meet him? You have to know that this is not a small fight. If something goes wrong." The curator was a little worried. After all, that was a gangster who would really eat people, not an ordinary primary school student playing around. "Boss, just make the appointment for me." Yenji's tone was very calm, as if he had made a lot of preparations. The boss shook his head and could only compromise. "I can't do anything to you. I can't do anything to her." Yenji sat on the billiard table and said to himself, "Forget it. I've indeed been muddle-headed in the past, always thinking that tomorrow will be the same. Why should I care who I offended today?" But now that he was with Xiaowan, he actually fantasized that he was just an ordinary student and had a sweet campus relationship with the little girl. After Little Chi returned home, she locked herself in her room, not knowing what to do. She was afraid that one day, Yenji would really die on the streets. He wouldn't even have the chance to say goodbye to her. She couldn't imagine what kind of hell Yenji was living in. She only knew that the more she thought about it, the more she couldn't let him go. Master Xiao found out from Cheng Hui what had happened in school that day. No, it should be said that Little Chi had fought. However, he did not show any displeasure. Cheng Hui was a little surprised. If it were any other parent, they would have torn Yenji apart long ago, but Sheng Xiao did not. He directly called Little Chi into the study. The father and daughter had a heart-to-heart talk again. "Dad, I know what you want to ask, but Dad can't give you an answer. However, I have a feeling that that kid has the ability to deal with things," Master Xiao answered without changing his expression. Chapter 1078. The owner of the billiard hall made an appointment for Hiyenji. The other party directly asked Hiyenji to meet him at the largest nightclub in Jianchuan, the imperial court. That was naturally not a good place. Jianchuan was famous for being chaotic. Hiyenji got the other party's number, thanked the boss, and turned to go home. The owner of the billiard hall could not bear it, but he still grabbed Hiyenji's arm and said softly, "If there's anything, just call me." "Don't worry." Hiyenji smiled and quickly disappeared into the darkness. Why could Hiyenji be the king here? Because in the past 2 years, Hiyenji had fought many times for the boss. Those who were dishonest, those who found trouble on credit, and those who had bullied the boss were all beaten up by Hiyenji. Therefore, in the boss's heart, he was like a younger brother. He did not know if helping him this time was the right thing to do. With his injuries, Hiyenji went to a friend's house to change into a set of black clothes. It was clearly a very ordinary shirt, but when Hiyenji wore it, it gave off a very noble aura. If he wanted to go to a nightclub, he naturally had to dress up mature. At least, no one could tell that he was still underage. "Young master," you used to be the young master of a rich family, right? No matter how I look at you, you're different from ordinary people like us." Hiyenji patted the other party's head and smiled. "The Princess of England is my aunt. Do you believe it?" The other party shook his head. "I don't believe it either." After tilting his head, Hiyenji went out with his injuries and rode his motorcycle to the largest nightclub in Jianchuan. At this moment, the nightclub was bustling with noise. Hiyenji stopped the motorcycle and went straight to the front desk. "I'm looking for Brother Nan." The other party glanced at Hiyenji and shook his head. "I'm sorry, sir. If you don't have an appointment." After Hiyenji heard this, he took out his gold card and said to the two of them, "Give me a bottle of Lafite and treat your brother Nan. Is that okay?" The two receptionists looked at each other, but they were used to the world and did not dare to offend him. They invited Hiyenji to the VIP room and then went to ask for the so-called Brother Nan. After a while, a man in a suit arrived at the VIP room with 2 bodyguards. When he saw Hiyenji, he could not help but laugh. "I didn't expect a kid like you to really dare to come. Do you know where this is? Kid, how dare you call me Lafite? Who gave you the guts? Brother Nan, can you write off your little brother's matter?" Hiyenji took the opportunity to state his purpose for coming. "Kid, do you know who you're talking to? I'll beat you up if I want to." The man laughed so hard that his shoulders were shaking. For a second, he even felt like he was bullying a little kid. Brother Yang has 3 fierce generals in his hands. Over the years, the people in the underworld have been terrified of him. However, gradually, there has been a rift between Brother Nan and his other brothers. Because of his straightforward personality, he always suffers losses in front of Brother Yang. The other 2 big shots are now rising in power. Only you are hiding in the imperial court. Are you willing to do that? After hearing Hiyenji's words, the other party was stunned. She looked at Hiyenji in surprise. "How do you know about our internal strife? Who are you?" "I'm just a hooligan. If Brother Nan is willing to give me peace and let the previous matter be written off, I'm willing to offer my plan and let Brother Nan vent his anger in front of Brother Yang." Hiyenji was extraordinarily calm. He was clearly only a teenager, but the words he said were full of temptation. People could not help but want to believe him. Chapter 1079. "You mean, you want me to listen to you?" Brother Nan pointed at his nose and smiled disdainfully. "You'd better wash up and go home to sleep. You haven't even grown your hair yet. I know that you've been fighting for the territory in the east of the city recently, and you've already fought several times. I have a solution here. It's written in your nightclub suggestion book. If you're interested, you can go take a look." After saying that, Hiyenji got up from the scarlet sofa. "If the solution works, contact me again. Do you want to write off the previous matter?" The other party obviously didn't believe him, but his eyes couldn't help but look at the coffee table. With just a glance, the person called Brother Nan said to his subordinate, "Go and drag that kid back." Of course, Hiyenji couldn't go far, because he expected the other party to pull him back. His attitude was completely different from before. At this moment, Brother Nan welcomed him with a smile. I really didn't expect you to have such courage and boldness at such a young age. I promise you, as long as I can win, not to mention writing off the previous debt, I can give you whatever you want. What did Hyunji want? It was just peace. He didn't want to be covered in injuries and cause trouble. Half an hour later, Hyunji came out of the imperial court. Brother Nan personally sent him off. It could be seen that Brother Nan was very satisfied with Hyunji's solution. Brother Nan, do you really believe this kid? The subordinate couldn't help but ask when he saw how familiar Brother Nan was. What do you know? This kid is simply a prodigy. Pass down the order. In the future, whoever sees this kid has to be respectful. Little Chi was worried for most of the night, because she really didn't know if Hyunji's so-called, he would deal with it, was just taking a knife to someone else's territory to fight. Therefore, in the middle of the night, she couldn't help but call Hyunji. A moment later, Hyunji picked up the phone and smiled happily. Xiaowan, you always have a way to call me when I'm bathing. It's good that you're alive. Little Chi heard his annoying voice, and hung up the phone in annoyance. Hyunji looked blankly at the phone that was beeping. His expression was doting and helpless. He was clearly worried. The next day, Little Chi arrived at school early in the morning, and found that Hyunji was already sleeping soundly on the table as usual. It seemed that he was really fine. Little Chi quietly sat down beside him, but the next second, her right hand was grabbed by someone under the table. Let go, the old witch is here. Little Chi struggled. Hyunji squeezed a few more times before letting go in satisfaction. Little Chi stared at the person lying on the ground and asked in a low voice, has the matter really been resolved? And, from now on, I'll accompany you shopping and watching movies. There won't be any more trouble. Hyunji propped himself up and answered her seriously. Little Chi didn't know what methods he had used, but she knew that Hyunji didn't like to go back on his word. Teach me how to ride a motorcycle first. Little Chi immediately turned into a wild girlfriend and ordered fiercely. Also, you must get first place in the final exam. Hyunji made a gesture of obedience. Yes, my lord. Little Chi looked at Hyunji's expression, and was still faintly worried. What had he paid for this piece? Even if she was his girlfriend, there were still so many secrets hidden in Hyunji's heart. Chapter 1080. 3 days later, Brother Nan called Hyunji. He hadn't been as happy as he was now for several years, because Hyunji's plan was really effective. It allowed him to hold his head high in front of Brother Yang for once. Brother Nan asked Hyunji what he wanted. When the big boss was in a good mood, he wanted to give him something. However, Hyunji rejected Brother Nan's good intentions. He only asked Brother Nan to ensure the peace of their family, and keep his identity a secret. In exchange, Hyunji could offer his plan to the big boss from time to time. Little he, how about this? I'll send someone to send you a black card. In the future, as long as you're in my territory, all your expenses will be on me. Hyunji leaned against the motorcycle with a slightly helpless expression. Okay, then it's a deal. Hyunji hung up the phone and looked at Little Chi, who was not far away. She was riding the motorcycle in a dignified manner. A moment later, she returned to his side excitedly. I'm a fast learner, right? Hyunji looked at the motorcycle she had put down. It was a second-hand product that the curator did not use. Seeing that her body was covered in oil stains, Hyunji pulled her onto the back seat of the motorcycle and reminded her calmly, sit tight. Where are we going? Little Chi quickly held his shoulder and asked. I'm going to buy you something you like. After saying that, Hyunji sped up and brought Little Chi to the 4S motorcycle shop. When they arrived at the entrance of the shop, Little Chi immediately grabbed Hyunji's arm and said, There's no need. Hyunji laughed. Then, he held Little Chi's palm and said, I just want to change to a comfortable back seat. What are you thinking? Little Chi was speechless. She thought that this bastard was going to bring her to buy a new motorcycle. Are you messing with me? Hyunji's lips curled into a beautiful arc and he explained, I don't know that you don't want to have anything to do with money. You're afraid that your rich identity will hurt my self-esteem. However, you really don't have to be so sensitive. Although your husband isn't the richest man in Jianchuan, he's not poor either. Moreover, at your age, I'll at most give you summer homework. Do you think I'll give you a motorcycle? Little Chi's face couldn't help but turn red. She was always teased by this bastard. And the real reason why I didn't buy it for you is because if you have your own motorcycle, who's going to hold my waist? Let's go in and find a place to rest. I'll ask the boss to modify it. Little Chi went to the rest area of the shop in a bad mood and sat down on the sofa casually. Seriously, you look so good even when you're angry. Yinji took off his gloves and asked the boss, does the shop have Kunduk 390? We're out of stock. The boss shook his head. It doesn't matter. I'm not in a hurry. Let me know when the goods arrive, Yinji said in a low voice. Give your sister away? Could she ride it? It's still so young. The boss glanced at Little Chi and frowned at Yinji. Book it. Yinji didn't care. When it was her birthday or other good days, he would take it out and give it to her. Sure, leave me your contact address later. I'll inform you when the goods arrive. Yinji nodded slightly. Without waiting for Ming Chi to know, he left the address of the tiny banyan courtyard. He imagined that one day, the little girl would ride a brand new motorcycle and go cross-country with him in the mountains. That feeling would definitely be wonderful. In just an hour, the boss of the 4S shop had indeed given Yinji a more comfortable back seat. After the two of them played for an entire day, the sky gradually darkened. Let's go. I'll send you home. Little Chi sat on the new cushion. Her butt was indeed much more comfortable, but she still did not forget to hug Yinji's waist tightly. However, before getting out of the car, Little Chi threw out a bomb. Do you want to go to my house for dinner? Chapter 1081. Yinji stopped the motorcycle and turned his head slightly. He looked at Little Chi with a faint smile. Are you in a hurry to see your parents? Uft. Auntie Hong called me and said that there's no one at home. Little Chi snorted disdainfully. After Yinji was seriously injured, she had asked Auntie Hong for her phone number. However, she knew in her heart that it was a little abrupt to ask, so she added, It's okay if you don't go. Yinji chuckled and did not answer. When they reached the entrance of the banyan courtyard, he turned to Little Chi and said, Let's wait until I have the confidence to meet your parents. TSK, who cares? Actually, Little Chi had already expected this. Go back and rest early. Don't wander around. Yinji really wanted to drag her into a small alley and kiss her to her heart's content. However, this was the territory of the Shun and Sheng families. If he was not careful, he would be poked into a hornet's nest by the two families. It was better to wait until the dead of night, when there was no one around to do these naughty plans. The two of them said goodbye at the door. After seeing Little Chi return home with his own eyes, Yinji returned home. However, when he opened the door, he realized that something did not seem right at home. A few rooms had been turned upside down, but nothing was missing. The thief who came in was quite unlucky, because there was nothing in his house. Yinji quickly forgot about this matter. Soon it was time for the final exam. Yinji promised Little Chi that as long as she could maintain her second place, he would take her out to play for a few days during the summer vacation. Little Chi was filled with joy when she agreed. After all, she was already used to big scenes. Now she was very interested in the things Yinji took her to play. However, would Master Xiao and her mother have any objections if she wanted to go out for a few days? This was the Sheng family's treasure. Although Little Chi was free, she had never left her parents' side. Now Yinji wanted to take their daughter away? Even Little Chi herself couldn't tell her father about this. She definitely couldn't lie, but she couldn't tell the truth. She was going out to play with a boy, especially with Yinji. However, a week after the exam, Yinji took Little Chi away. That night, the two of them had just received their results. Yinji rode his motorcycle to the banyan courtyard and called Little Chi. Come out, I'll take you to play. Little Chi greeted Mama Sheng and went out. Unexpectedly, Yinji took her on a motorcycle for 3 hours. Seeing that the place was getting more and more remote, Little Chi's heart was pounding. Where are you taking me? Sell it for a good price. Yinji said loudly. Stop teasing me, I'm scared. Little Chi pinched the flesh on his waist and said, "Let's go to Aunt Hong's hometown. I'll take you to the countryside to be a wild child, a mountain king." "But my parents. Have you ever seen a bad guy kidnap someone? Do you have to tell them beforehand?" Yenji laughed loudly. Little Chi's face turned pale. This was the first time she had been scared by him. When they arrived at their destination, Little Chi got out of the car and kicked his foot. "Send me back. My mother can't take it anymore." Yenji took the opportunity to hook his arm around her neck and became serious. "I've asked your father. Otherwise, would I dare to kidnap Master Zhao's daughter? I don't believe it." Little Chi continued to struggle. Yenji was helpless. He took out his phone and handed it to Little Chi. "Here, call him yourself." Little Chi took the phone and looked surprised. "You talked to my dad on the phone? That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.